Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Welcome. It's Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HUDRadio.com. We're live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW Atlantic City. We're off exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online. BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web. GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone. Michael Mataraki. Greg Mwakvik. Charles Moranin. Did I get it?
Yep.
Got it. Let's go. Rob Povey on the 1 to 2s. Michael Chromiak over on the other side. On the other side of the glass, too, as well. He'll be over here as well. What the hell's going on over there?
I have no clue.
Well, let's swap him out. We'll swap you out. We'll get you swapped. Obviously, somebody doesn't know how to handle that microphone. Some of the jabrones that come in here are aggressive with the phones. That's fine. We'll get into that. Later on in the show as well.
Every goddamn time, you know?
I added something to here. Just a World Series talk.
Do it.
Later on.
Yeah, man.
I figured it. One of my buddies inboxed me. No World Series? Who's talking World Series? Said Steve, we got you, Daddy.
Yeah,
we got you.
Well, there's also a World Series game going on.
There is.
So,
nobody cares about our World Series talk while the game's going on.
Exactly.
We'll dissect later on. Markelle Fultz situation later on in the show. The Sixers botching another injury. The agent doesn't know what's wrong with his client. This trainer says, hey, we didn't change his shot at all. Well, no, the injury did. We'll talk about Fultz later on and how you need to protect your asset as an organization. Heavy Eagles talk. Hey, go ahead. Yeah.
How the hell does this organization not know that with the way things have gone for the past 5 years?
Because that guy's out.
Yo, Colangelo doesn't know his ass from a hole in the wall.
Colangelo lied. Okay,
He's
Colangelo lied to us. So let's just get that clear. He lied to us. He said, let's not get into it yet, but I haven't trusted Colangelo since he came in a lot.
Jesus, take the wheel over here?
Saying,
I'm out. I'm out. I'm taking the night off. I'm just letting him carry the show.
He's a rat-faced bastard is what he is, and we'll talk about.
I don't fully trust him yet. He made a good move
I like
to get
Charles.
Fultz. That's a great move. But do I completely trust him yet? No, I don't. And it's reasons like this with the Fultz thing, it hasn't changed. Like you have Colangelo, but the medical staff is still botching things, and you can't do stuff like this with Fultz. And
not for 3 years in a row, do it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Markelle and the Sixers and the game going on right now later on. Eagles injuries, tons. I mean, you go back to week 1, Darby. Week 2, McLeod leaves. Week 3, I believe, is that when Sproles went down? I believe that was Fletcher too, right? Fletcher went down. Week 6, you lose Maragos. In week 7, you lose Kendricks. And then you come into this week where you lose 2 big parts out for the year, Jordan Hicks, Jason Peters. We'll talk about that as well. Obviously, we got to go back, talk about the 34-24 win against Washington Monday night. Big win. We'll talk about Carson. We'll preview the Niners game, all that throughout the show. Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. How should the Eagles replace Jason Peters at left tackle? Play Vaitai at left tackle, move Johnson to left tackle, explore trade options. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. People are already chiming in. We'll get to you right now. Pop Mondes, what up, fellas?
Pop.
What up, Pop?
What up, Pop?
He also hits with Let's Go Sixers. Hell yeah. John Skeel, go Eagles, cheers. Matt, I'm not going to get your last name, but he hits me with a Michael Chromiak already. The fans coming in. Carol Beth Kelly Chromiak. Mike Chromiak, thumbs up. Rob Pogue on the other side. Explore trade options. Listen, I'm just going to start this one on my opinion. You did not move Lane Johnson to left tackle. That is facts. You do not do that ever. You don't hurt two positions by trying to fix one, right? I talked to my neighbor across the street. He played at Pennsauken, big-time offensive lineman, and went to West Virginia. He ain't a joke. He's a big man. He knows footwork. We talked about it out front of the house last night.
He is a big man.
Because I wanted an insight from a guy who's played the position. He said, listen, Tom, the footwork, the drop, your plant foot, everything's different. Leave him where he's at, and that's where my belief was anyway, but you want confirmation from guys who are smarter than you at the position, right? And he is. So to his point, he's spot freaking on, and that's why you leave Lane where he is. If Big V can't handle it, guess what? You're in trouble. But I believe in the rest of the offensive line. He also talked about the chemistry with your guard and how it's so important and how these guys always got to be on the same page. So you move Lane over to left. Now that chemistry with the guard's out. Leave guys where they are. Let Big V continue to get reps at left tackle. I thought, he handled himself well in that football game when Peters went out for the most part. Because Washington said, hey, Rye, second play, he's in. Hey, Rye, we're going to send you right over there and go get this man. I thought he held up well. So that's where I stand. I don't know what options are out there. I heard Joe Staley. I mean, come on, man. It's late into a season. This isn't Major League Baseball. This isn't other sports where you can make deals in season. There's a lot to learn when you talk about West Coast offense. You're talking about zone blocking. You're talking about different things like that. There's too much to learn that quick. Now, I know he's a pro's pro. Would I take a flyer on a guy? Yeah, I'll take a flyer, but I don't expect him to come in week 9 and start. Maybe 12 or 13 later on in the year if Big V isn't holding up. Maybe that's where he learns the offense again and can do it. But I'm going to go right to you.
I'm absolutely going for the trade option, and I'm starting with Joe Staley this week because the 49ers – they're coming here.
They're down.
Now, I have no problem with Big V, and to your point, I agree with you. I'm not moving Lane Johnson from right tackle, but at 6-1, the expectations have changed for this team.
No question.
They absolutely, positively have to be in win this year mode because they may not have this clear of a path for another 2-3 years. So they have to be in win now mode, and I don't know that they get it done with Big V watching Carson's blind side for the rest of the season. Now, I think the coaching staff will do a real good job of protecting Carson. I think you'll get a lot of quick throws until Big V is comfortable. You'll get a lot of runs to that side because he is a good run blocker. And hopefully the idea that they could run to that side will keep those pass rushers on their heels a little bit. But even though it's midseason, you've got, 2 weeks until the trade deadline in the NFL.
Next week, right? Isn't it next week?
It is. The trades have to be completed before week 9 game, before the first week 9 game is played.
Tuesday.
Like 2 weeks.
Trade deadline's Tuesday.
So
I forget the exact time, but this coming Tuesday, after the week 8 games are done.
I thought it was Thursday at 4 p.m.
I think it could be Tuesday or Thursday, but it's either way, it's in the middle of the week.
Right, so it's next week. So they basically have a week, give or take. So, I would definitely be talking to the Niners about Staley. There's probably a couple of other teams that have some decent depth on the offensive line that might be looking to move a guy if they get the right return. I'm not crazy about parting with draft picks because we've done a lot of that already to get where we are. But when you look at where we are, you know what? If it takes 2 first-rounders to get a left tackle in here that's going to get me a Super Bowl this year, count me in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
No, I'm with you. This would have been the perfect spot to go get Joe Thomas out of hell. You know what I mean? Bring a guy in, Staley. If I'm bringing a guy in, I'm bringing a veteran guy in who doesn't need that time to gel. The guy can just step in and roll. Joe Staley, you talk about West Coast offense. He's in San Fran. That's the inventor of the West Coast offense.
Yeah, but not
He's been
now.
there a while. Well, not as so much anymore. But I think he could step in right away.
Not so much for a long time.
Well,
His entire career there was no West Coast offense. I don't care who created it.
There was some sort of it.
Who, Harbaugh?
All right.
There was no West Coast with John Harbaugh.
It's a portion of it. So we ran at Stanford.
That was a power running scheme.
Wait, are we talking Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh?
Jim.
Because Jim, he can do whatever the hell he wants. John is basically running Andy's offense, the same thing that Doug's running. So,
but I differ. I do move lean.
You would.
No. I get your point.
Matt chiming in saying the same thing. I already got another. We're talking about Josh Hart, right? Is it Hart? Taylor Hart that was signed. Josh Hart played for the Lakers, but he's saying he agrees with you that he moves them over to left tackle. I don't.
I want my best guy protecting my blind side. If he's going to be a turnstile, I want Carson to at least see him. But I do understand the concerns. I do get what you're talking about and what your neighbor says is the difference in drops. It is a difference. But you draft Lane Johnson as the number 4 pick.
He doesn't have to play right. He doesn't have to play left because you drafted him there.
But you don't draft the right tackle 4.
Why not?
He's going to be your left tackle.
Why not, though?
Maybe not this year. At least next year.
Okay, but then I have all OTAs and everything else to get him comfortable at left tackle.
So that's why I do it right now. Just let him go.
Right now, if this man's in win right now mode, I'm in win right now mode. You're in win right now mode. Charles is in what we just all said.
But that's what this move does. This move. That's how big this injury is with Jason Peters. You're right. You're in win now mode, but now it shifts. Now, I mean, could you see a tailspin because of that's how dominant Jason Peters is and that line cohesiveness there?
I think you see the tailspin the other way. I think if you move him to left, I think you see a tailspin for a few weeks at least.
Here's some stats for you. Hold on. So I saw this on Twitter today. These are the percentage rankings of linemen in the league, tackles in the league that get a percentage of help, as in chipping and double teams on blocks. Lane Johnson is number 1 with the least percentage of help on his side, 16.6%. So he is on an island on that side. Also, another thing, you talk about you drafted Lane Johnson to be your premier left tackle of the future, right? The thing is, that the whole thing about left tackle, right tackle, protecting the blind side, it's outdated, because if you look at the premier pass rushers of teams now, especially the ones that are coming up for the Eagles, they play across from the right tackle. You cannot move Lane Johnson to the left tackle when you have people like Von Miller coming up in 2 weeks.
I completely disagree with that.
With 2 weeks, because they moved.
Give me no.
They moved.
I get it. Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
Defensive ends and linebackers that are rushing the passer. They move side to side.
They move.
They take advantage of your weaknesses.
Yes, but they move. But then what are you doing? Like he said, if you move Lane to the left side and you put Big V on the right side, you're creating more of a.
I agreed with that.
And so what I'm saying is, Lane Johnson is already getting he's on an island on the right side. He's doing a wonderful job. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And so if you look, I looked at the tape for Big V over this past game when he came in and played after Jason Peters went down. He held his own. He did really, really good. There were a few plays where he got cut on the inside, but the thing is, on the left side, he looks more comfortable there on the left side than he does on the right. And so I'm more confident. And I didn't even know that he played. I'm like, why does he look more comfortable on the left side? I didn't know in college he played left tackle. He didn't play right tackle.
So that's footwork back.
It's absolutely right. You don't create more of a problem. Lane Johnson's doing great on the right side. He doesn't need help. So, the defense is going to move pieces. They're going to attack Big V.
Let me ask you a question, though. How many games has Big V started at left tackle this year?
None. He hasn't.
None, exactly. Yeah. So every time he's come into a game, he's come in more or less in relief.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because Peters has had to leave the game.
Yeah.
That is a fresh offensive tackle coming off the bench, beating up on guys that have probably been on the field for 30, 40, 50 snaps.
I agree.
So let's watch this. Hold on. Let's watch this from snap 1 against the 49ers, because clearly 49ers are not a great team, but their defense isn't bad.
They have a pass rush.
They have a pretty good
They have a pass rush.
Yeah, they have a pass rush. So let's watch this against the 49ers before we really, really jump to a conclusion one way or the other, regardless of what the decision's going to be. But you can't base Vitai's success on what he's done this year, just the same way you can't judge his failures on what he did at right tackle last year. You have to judge the body of work on what, like you said, all the time, the eye test. But there's got to be an eye test this week.
Oh, and that's when you can decide that. I mean, I feel like after this week, as him starting, you can make that decision. Like, okay, are we going to go outside the organization or not? I think if he holds up well this week, I don't think there's any need to go outside the organization. So you can tell a lot just by this week. How does he hold up? How does the outline hold up? And then they can make a decision.
And let's not make any mistake about this Taylor Hart thing. The Taylor Hart thing was they needed to sign somebody like today that knows the offense, and they didn't want to run the risk of having to sign Dylan Gordon off of their practice squad and then having to re-sign him again next year or potentially have him walk next year. They're just basically trying to stash this guy for the entire year because they think that much of him. They don't. It's funny because they don't want to expose him this year because they're afraid somebody will just come pluck him. Whereas somebody could just come pluck him off their practice squad right now anyway if they really wanted to.
Here's Pop. V needs to develop and improve, period. Be ready to play. Don't trade for a left tackle. I'd rather trade for a linebacker where we lack big time. If you really want to look at a concern on this football team, let's look outside the left tackle for a minute. Let's look right to the middle linebacker, that a position that was never freaking addressed deeper. It
Really?
Yeah, well, we
Really?
know why, but listen,
Really?
we got to be okay with Barnett because he can go get it.
again.
But let's not even look at that.
Yes,
I'm gonna look at a week. I'm gonna look at a week before.
He looked good Monday night.
I'm gonna look at a week before. I'm gonna look at Navarro Bowman hits the free agent market right midseason. You gotta load up because you gotta know that Jordan Hicks, the first time he's ever played a full season was last year in his entire career going back to college. You need to know that Joe Walker stinks. He is not an NFL starting middle linebacker. Period. He ain't Luke Kuechly, daddy, because he's white. He ain't none of these dudes. I hate white middle linebackers, and I'm a white guy. I'm a surrealist.
Are you really?
But Kuechly and Strong Lee, the only two who can play. There's been other guys.
Plus Lesney, he's pretty good.
Yeah, Paul. There's guys. So I'm hating right now.
Urlacher.
But I look at Joe Walker. I
you.
look at him small, undersized. If you don't even know your drops and pass coverage, I got issues with you. So the only way you can fix this, to me, is there's nobody out there to go get. So I move good inside. Okay, I move Najee inside.
You kind of have to.
And I put Kendricks. So I can't put Kendricks inside. I don't trust him to wear and tear. But Najee, I feel is a good enough cover guy that you can move him inside. Our front four so dominant that me and you can play middle and get open looks on tackles. I'm not worried about the run game with the middle linebacker. I'm worried about the passing game with the middle linebacker because Joe Walker that's on Howie Roseman. He's done a lot of great things. But even though people out there, the trolls want to call me a goddamn homer because they don't do their goddamn homework or listen to shows. But real talk, he's done a lot of great things. But you can't miss spots on a roster. With injury rate, the only thing Chip Kelly's ever said right in his tenure, 100%. That's what it is. So you can't go into your season as Joe Kelly backing up a guy who's never been healthy. You can't. Now, nobody can predict an Achilles tear, a ruptured Achilles. Nobody can predict that. But what you can predict is guy's never been healthy.
Well, but see, here's what screwed that whole thing up was you have to figure that they're thinking, and you kind of addressed this a little bit, was they had Bradham, Hicks, and Kendricks. And if there's an injury to the middle linebacker, typically what they're going to do is they're going to slide Hendricks inside, and then they'll probably play Good or Walker or that Kamagruja Hill on the outside. Yeah. Because what they did was all their backup linebackers are a bunch of special teams guys. But what screwed that whole thing up was the Kendricks injury during the week and him going inactive. So now Kendricks is inactive, Hicks gets hurt. You're basically down to Bradham and a bunch of jabrones.
Yeah, and you can't move Nigel anywhere from where he's at.
You gotta let.
You don't hurt another position by trying to fix one. But what you can do is move Najee in because you're not hurting position. Kendricks will be back healthy and then get hurt again. We know it, but guess what? If them two are on the field, I'm comfortable. I can get away with Najee inside, but we'll see what they decide to do. But really, the bigger kicker with Jordan Hicks is not because he's a special player. It's he's your signal caller. That's not easy to replace defensively.
Amen.
So, granted, you got 49ers up this week, and you got a quarterback who shouldn't beat anybody,
right.
So you should be okay. I still feel like it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think, but let me get some of these comments because they're flying.
Hold on a second before you go there.
Shoot.
Final from South Philly. Houston 105. Sixers 104. They hit a 3 at the buzzer.
Oh, my God.
Some of them,
Cover! They covered!
Hey, great teams win, or good teams win, great teams cover.
Hey, but listen, you're going up against a beast, one of the beasts in the West, and you're holding your own. And there's no moral victories here.
No.
But this team now needs to start learning how we close out games. And that's just something that they'll grow into, I feel like, as the season goes on, closing out. Because they're in dogfights. The only time I seen this ball club quit
Eric Gordon
was against Toronto, where I saw quit. So, here we go. We got a ton going on. Michael DeAndre, is Kendricks back? I think he will be back this week.
Yeah, they said it should be a 1-week injury.
Michael DeAndre, what areas do we need to address in the draft and free agency? Well, left tackle, middle
line,
and a backup middle linebacker.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Ralph Delvecchio, Foster.
Hey.
He's a Ruben guy. We were at the draft together, and we were doing Ruben Chance, and that was the guy we wanted. And I don't hate Mike. I don't hate Derek Barnett. He can go get the quarterback, and you need that. And this team invests where Howie Roseman does get it right. He invests a lot of money in the D-line. to be able to go get it and have fresh guys. You saw a lot of that Monday night as well.
Yeah.
Pop Montanez, he was great because he was a number 2. This is what Rob Taramino wants to talk about. He wants to ask a question about Alshon. And can you guys talk about Alshon when you get a chance? He's a hot topic on a lot of Eagles pages. I feel like he's not the receiver he was when he was in Chicago. He brought him in to be a big-time receiver, and I feel like he's not been that. Looks slow out there. Doesn't look nowhere near the receiver he was in Chicago. Listen.
I got you.
Chemistry, man. That takes time. That's not built over an OTA. That's not built over preseason football games. That takes time together. I thought you saw some more chemistry this week than you have in the past. And remember, coverage is getting rolled, man.
I was going to say, I would counter that with a question, and the question would be, how much has Zach Ertz improved? How much has Nelson Aguilar improved? You're getting balls now to Mac Hollins. Torrey Smith is still there, but he might be the odd man out at this point. But you kind of just hit on my exact point is you don't have a quarterback who's force-feeding him the ball 15 times a game because he doesn't have to. All the coverage is getting rolled that way, and he's got guys open left and right.
I know you watch a ton of tape. I know you're a tape junkie, the scouting guy over here.
Yeah, so earlier today before I came over, I watched, because I listened to one of my podcasts, Locked On Eagles podcast, and they were talking about this very topic. And so I was curious. I was like, all right, let me go look at the tape. Let me go with myself. So I turn on Game Pass, put on the All-22 tape, watch every single snap, passing snap of Alshon. Here's the thing. There's a myth that the coverage is rolling over to Alshon's side. Against the Redskins, that's not true. They played, 90% of the time, they played one-on-one with Breland on Jeffrey. With maybe half the time, they had a cover 1 with the safety doing the center field. Sometimes it was just cover 0. There was no safety help. So 90% of the time, maybe there were only 2 or 3 plays where man to man he beat Breland, but other than that, Breland was on him. Here's the thing with Alshon. When I was watching tape of him with the Bears, he's never been the fastest guy. I get it. I'm not saying he's a speedster, but an underrated part of his game was his route running, because despite his size, he knew how to use how to burst out of his cuts, how to get explosion out of his breaks at the top of the route, and that gave him separation. That's why he wasn't just a deep ball guy. He was getting open on intermediate routes. You're not seeing that now. And then all these 50-50 balls that were thrown at him against the Redskins, there were 2 of them. You can say there's ticky-tack pass interference calls, but they were catchable balls. They were in his hands.
That second one was you in his thing. No, the one where he got pulled down.
Yeah,
he couldn't even go up. That's clear PI on that one.
It's PI. But what I'm saying is, you brought him here as someone who didn't need the biggest separation in the world. He was one of the best wide receivers at going up and getting those 50-50 balls. He's not doing it right now. So what am I looking for if he's not doing it? Hold on. Wait. Let me finish. He's not
hold on.
Wait, hold on. No. Let me finish.
Wait. Whoa, bro. Come on, man.
I'm telling you what I saw from the tape. No, wait, hold on. Let me finish.
Get to your point.
My point is, right now, I am hoping, and I still think there is definitely a chance, because Alshon has shown in the past he is a talented wide receiver. He is one of the best wide receivers in the game. I think that part of it is chemistry, because I did see 2 throws, especially one in the end zone, where Jeffrey got outside leverage and Carson just missed them high with the pass. So I get it. It could take time. So I get it. I think there is still a chance.
There's still a chance. Because Breland's a legit corner in this league. So
he's okay.
Oh, no, he's okay. He's better than okay. Breland can play. Breland's a legit 1-2 in this league. He's a legit 1-2.
He's a good 2, but I'm not saying if you're paying the guy. This is my point.
This
is my point.
But other weeks there's roll coverage.
Yes.
No, we can't act like this guy don't.
Well, I had to go back and watch it. But the thing is, this is what I'm saying. Right now, I love Alshon on this team. It gives him a presence of a wide receiver that is big, physical, and can go up and get that ball. I think with time, as the season goes on, I am hoping, and I think it is possible, like I said, for him to get better. The thing is, if it doesn't, if you start to see some of this type of play the rest of the season,
Well, guess
there's
what?
no way I give him that extension.
Guess what? I
There's
don't
no
give
way.
it.
That's my
I don't
point.
give a rat's
That's
ass.
the point.
See ya.
He's gone. My point is in the
Listen,
long
listen,
term.
listen, this is
In the
my
long
point.
term,
This is
you
my
don't
point.
give
Hold
him
on,
the
hold on.
extension.
This is my point, and this is factual. Okay, when you put a lot of talent out on the football field at one time, okay, that makes defensive coordinators have a lot of work to do in their meeting rooms, right? So we can talk roll coverage, we can talk about single up. I don't really give a rat's ass. Facts are facts. When you got that much talent on the football field, from Alshon to Ertz to Nelson to Torrey, right, and 11, who's a flat-out pimp, okay? Now you got to worry about a lot of things. So even if it isn't roll coverage, even whatever the case may be, you got a lot to worry about as a defensive coordinator and as defensive secondary, right? So that opens up spots for Ertz one-on-one, other guys one-on-one. So I just think that, and chemistry, like we talked about, it's going to take time for these guys to develop. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, Nelson, we talk about Nelson and Ertz. Right. Well, this is their second year with Carson. Yeah. So you'd expect their chemistry to be a little better than Alshon and Torrey. So, you know, Torrey's got to finish. We know them kind of things. But still, having them guys on the football field helps. So, like, anybody out there that would be like, oh, well, you could just put Matt Collins in, you know, next year.
No.
I know how this fan base works, okay? No.
And Matt Collins has a couple good catches, and all of a sudden he's the next Paul Turner.
So, like, nobody's going to worry
He's
about
the next
Matt
Paul
Collins,
Turner.
essentially. But I think we all agree on the same thing, that if it isn't roll coverages in last game or whatever the case may be, it's just a chemistry thing. And it takes time to develop. Hey, I'm going to throw back shoulder fade here. I'm going to throw this here. Where do I like my jump balls in the end zone? Different things that just take time to develop.
And this is what annoys me about this whole argument. Number one, they are 7 games into the season. They've won 6, but everybody's got to find a problem, okay? Number two, 7 games into the season, you could probably count on one hand the number of legitimate 50-50 balls that have been thrown his way. That's just not Carson's MO. He doesn't throw 50-50 balls. He's either going to put it where the defender can't catch it, or he's going to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So the 50-50 ball argument is bullshit, okay? Plain and simple, it is. Now, to your point, you're talking about the Redskins were playing, you know, single high safety or a lot of times no safety. Well, I'm sitting there. I'm at the game. I'm there, and I'm watching this. And what you don't see, even on the All-22, is the cheat, where the back pedal comes, but the back pedal comes diagonally to Alshon's side. Or a lot of times what happens is safety starts high, checks Alshon, tries to get a read on what the coverage is going to, or what the pattern might be based on the formation, and then starts to creep because they brought a lot of pressure Monday night. To your point, I think you are absolutely spot on. Whether it's no safety, single high safety, whatever, to say that they're not rolling double coverage his way might be accurate. But the reason that they are not is because over the course of 6 games, the Eagles have put so much on film that defensive coordinators can't just double him all the time because they're going to get burned on the other side of the field.
Amen.
So to say that he does not have an impact is absolutely ridiculous.
David Nallo, stop it. Knock it off. Holland's not the best wide receiver on this team. That's crazy talk. I shouldn't even have read that one off. What else we got going on? Alex Casio, obviously talking tough loss for the Sixers tonight. We'll get into some Sixers later on. Sean Spielman believes that Jeffrey is a top wide receiver in the league. Ralphie D, no matter what, give Alshon the money. You can't let a guy like that walk away.
Absolutely
not. So, you know, whatever the case may be, I know Rob's hot about, you know, Alshon and believes that he's not living up to what he's supposed to live up to, and that's fine. And, you know, his numbers don't speak for it, but just having him out in the football field helps everybody around him. And, you know, I thought bringing in guys that got rid of the stench of the drops and how contagious Jordan Matthews and everybody, how that went through here. And you got rid of that, and you brought in vets that aren't known for dropping balls in Torrey and Alshon. And it changes the culture.
Oh, he's a great teammate.
You know what I mean? So even if it isn't translating on game day, it translates in practice.
Yes.
I think it helped Nelson take a step to the next level.
Definitely.
I think it does. It does translate on game day. It just doesn't translate to the gaudy numbers
and stats. Yeah.
And let me be clear. I'm not saying that I regret signing Alshon. I thought it was a great move, and you needed him. And I think his presence with the wide receivers is definitely felt, and it's showing because. People might argue, Alshon's never been a top wide receiver. He has. I'm not saying he's elite, but what I'm saying is he's been one of those wide receivers that defenses focus on. in the past. So I still think it was a great move to bring him in. Whether long term we keep him to an extension, that remains to be seen. We have to see how the season plays out. My argument was just that, hey, like he hasn't looked the same as what I saw when he was in Chicago, and I'm just going off of that one game. I have to look more. I have to see what if other teams played him differently. But I'm just saying that we can't automatically just assume, okay, we're doing great, sign him, because you got to also consider, because pieces like Ertz and Aguilar are doing so well, it's because part of it is also because the scheme, Peterson is scheming so well to make plays for those guys, so you can't just throw out money to Alshon if he's not going to live up to that kind of money.
All right, but here's the thing: if they let Alshon walk, do you think that he's not going to be one of the 3 highest paid free agent wide receivers next year?
Oh, of course he will.
Well, of course he will. But then who's gonna sign him? You're gonna have a bad team that's desperate that's gonna overpay him, and they would need someone. And I don't know what the offseason is going to look like for the Eagles. No one does yet. But all I'm saying is you can't automatically assume it.
But for as much as we rip on Howie on this show, do you think they legitimately brought Alshon in with the idea that they were only going to keep him for 1 year?
No.
Possibly.
No, you brought him in for 1 year.
Absolutely
You
not.
brought him on a 1 year deal because he's not going to get anything more around the league. Right. That's facts because of the history. Because he's one suspension away from
another injury.
Well, that too.
Injury prone.
That too. Here's some. I want to touch on some free agent linebackers right now.
All right.
As some guys that can help, and I don't take credit for this at all. This is Kevin Condit, Eagles Nest 365 as a group, and 3 names he put out: Perry Riley, okay, DeQuil Jackson, and former Eagle D'Amico Ryans. I canceled the third one out of there.
D'Amico's a little old.
But I do like DeQuil Jackson.
So, and I actually like Perry Riley.
I like Perry Riley as well. He struggled in the 3-4 last year. It just wasn't a good fit for him in Oakland. He's a 4-3 guy. Guy I would take a flyer on. I think either one. DeQuill's a hitter. He'll smack you right in the mouth. I like DeQuil Jackson a little bit, too. They're both the same age. I think they're both. Well, no, actually, Perry Riley's only 29, but DeQuill's 33.
Well, let me ask you guys.
Perry Riley's out of the league at 29.
Let me ask you guys another question. Same position, but different angle. If you're Eagles management at this point, for as much as you may love him, are you done with Jordan Hicks?
Am I done?
Yeah, I mean, are you done? Are you just kind of
you have to,
because this guy he can't stay on the field, and you can't give big money to a middle linebacker and expect this guy to be the quarterback of your defense if he can't stay on the field.
No, I agree with that, Greg.
Well, I think that's part of why at least I wanted Ruben so much when the board fell that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Is because you had a guy that was could be the quarterback of your defense because Jordan Hicks can't stay on the field.
Right.
And Jordan Hicks can't stay on the field because he's in the middle dealing with these large men coming at him full speed.
Right.
As opposed to be on the outside where he gets a little bit of freedom to roam, and he's not dealing with blockers coming head on.
Although it's ironic that you say he has to deal with these large men coming at him, and he leaves with basically a non-contact injury.
Yeah.
You're
unbelievable.
Right. He leaves on a back pedal. Pop says the reason Alshon goes so good in Chicago is because he played alongside Marshall for a couple of years. Well, that helped. Brandon Marshall was a stud in Chicago, and whatever. Jason Crisolo said, do you think Ertz and Nelson are having good years because of Alshon's presence?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It helps. But they're having good years
I
because they're
agree.
finishing. What was the biggest thing on Zach Ertz? Oh, week 12 will show up.
Yeah.
Nelson's issue was just finishing. It wasn't route running. We talked about that Tuesday when we talked. The guy can flat out run a route. There's no question in that.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's matched up in a situation where, hey, you're a slot guy. Well, he's going to own slot guys.
Yes.
And week in, week out, why he's my week in, week out player, offensive player of the game, is because he should own slot guys. And he does. Because all Nelson Aguilar does is catch touchdowns. So to the Peterson haters out there, to the Nelson haters out there, that's why some of this fan base is flat out freaking clueless. That's all. That's all. Because
Amen.
you're worried about how a guy talks in a press conference. That's what we worry about. That's what we hang our hat on. The best coach in franchise history gave you, time's yours. Best coach in franchise history gave you nothing, but protected his players always. Excuse me. Never threw his players under the bus best coach in franchise history.
Got to do a better job.
Yeah. Doug, so you care about how Doug talks?
No, I don't.
You know what I mean? To the masses, like, why do you care how a guy talks? I care about how do you translate in your locker room. And I know you hated this early on. I'm going to attack you, okay? I'm going to come real hot at your throat like a pet that was running around outside, all right? But you had an issue and other people had an issue with this guy telling his players and telling the world, right, in the spring that this team has as much talent on it as my Packers team in the 90s. That's coach talk, man. That translates to guys.
Sure.
And I know guys didn't like it, and he took a lot of heat for it. But look how that translates now. Because he told his players, I believe in you. Yeah. I believe in every one of you. Now you believe because the mental, and you know the mental, Daddy, that's 50% of the battle out there is the mental side believing that we're this good. And I think it got a lot to say, and I'm not crowning Doug, but for the haters out there, the Zekes of the world, and the other guys that just didn't want to buy in or believe he's a good football coach, you got to believe it now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. You be stubborn. You be stubborn. And when I'm on broad in a year or two, okay, you might not be welcome.
Well, I can't be a fan because I don't like the head coach.
Why don't you like that coach? Because now you're being stubborn. That's stubborn talk. That's stubborn talk.
To be a fan, I have to be in love with the head coach.
You don't have to be in love, but you have to respect it.
Hey, is he still here?
What does that mean?
Have I always said
Chris can be still here? Greg 6-1.
But have I always said he was going to be here? Yes. I never said I was calling for his head. I don't have to like him, but I don't.
Oh! Here comes the spin. Here comes the spin.
No, I never did. I never did.
But there's a reason why you said he was going to be here.
Because I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
I had it. I had it coming. Well, you don't give me that look, man. You didn't like the guy.
I don't like the guy.
Okay, but now you need to start too.
I can like this football team.
You got the respect.
I can like this football team.
You got the respect tattoo on your arm.
I do.
And you got it spelled wrong.
Yeah.
That's how it is right now with you.
Because I need
it's spelled
Snickers.
wrong.
Actually, you know what the great thing was?
But I love that he didn't waver it up. I like that you didn't waver it up.
I still don't.
So I don't like you one bit.
But that's fine.
Did you see Doug roll into the press conference on Tuesday, like with the hoodie and the cat diesel hat on? He just rolled in there and he's like, "Look, I watched film all night. I just rolled out of bed. I threw a hat and a hoodie on. I'm good. Ask me whatever the hell you want. We're 6-1." Like I think what it is now is like the winning. Yeah, exactly. The winning has relaxed him. Personality's starting to come out a little bit. It's pretty evident that the guy does know what he's talking about. So.
It's hard not to. We talked about it for months at a time. This the trick. Too much. He's been around too much Hall of Fame talent at the quarterback position. At the coaching position. And you go back to Shula Marino, and it goes on to Green Bay and Favre and everything he's been around here with Five and Andy. And I think the biggest thing, and Gruden touched on this and we touched on it for months now. I know we all have, is having them quarterback guys with Carson at a young age, having Doug and Frank, and be able to translate and tell him, hey, almost see what he sees and be able to the coach speak that from a former quarterback. That's so huge for this kid and his growth right now. Yeah. And credit needs to go to Frank Reich and credit needs to go to Doug Peterson because, people crushed him. Like, he can't call games himself. He shouldn't call games. Listen, man, it's your job on the line. That's how I always looked at NFL coaches. If this team isn't successful, you're the one out the door. So if you believe you're the best play caller, call the plays. But don't believe for a second that Frank's not in the ear, guys up top aren't in the ears. And I think he's a guy who's open. Unlike other guys who call plays that are stubborn, I believe he's open for input. And he's not. It's a me thing, and it's what I believe in, and nothing else matters. And I think that's why you're 6-1 right now, and that's why you're successful. Right? And what does good organizations do? When you bring in a new head coach, a young guy, you surround him with guys who have been around the league for a long time.
Yep.
Jim Schwartz on defense. So, hey, I don't got to worry about defense side of the ball. And I know there was talks out there from the crumbs that, Schwartz was coming from his job because he walks around the NovaCare complex with goddamn bravado. Well, every defense coordinator should walk around a goddamn complex with a lot of bravado.
Did you see?
Now look at that translate to a top five
Did
defense.
Buddy Ryan not have bravado?
Damn it.
A couple weeks ago, did you see him rolling into the away game? He looked like Vince McMahon rolling in with like the big dog, like the 5-piece suit, like I got a third leg walking around. Like,
grapefruit.
Dude, that's what he is.
Actually,
here's real quick. If he doesn't want Doug's job, why is he here? That's my thought.
Well, he should want
Doug's job. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
if he doesn't want it, then why are you coaching still?
There's a
because I mean, I'm not saying that the reports are true, but every assistant coach wants to be a head coach.
Well, there's a difference between wanting the job and actively campaigning for it.
Yes.
But I got to tell you a funny story, though, about being at the game Monday night. For as much as I love Doug, and I love the way that, like, his game flow is starting, There was a play, I want to say it was like late third quarter. Birds are like 3rd and 17, like inside their own 15-yard line. I see Selleck come jogging onto the field. I go, well, here we go. Misdirection tight end screen. Sure enough, 10 seconds later, they break the huddle. Selleck's lined up off of Carson's left hip. Running back's lined up off the right hip. Running back goes out into the flat. Carson pumps that way, comes back over to Selleck. They get about 10 yards out of it. Guy behind me goes, Jesus Christ, did you just call that play? I said, yeah, that's an Andy Reid staple. I'm like, because you know Selleck's not going to fumble, and it's got a chance to pick up the first down, but even if it doesn't, you give yourself more breathing room, and you punt the ball. But then I started thinking about it for a second. I'm like, shit, if I called that play, I think their defensive coordinator called that too. But I do like the fact that he's willing to dip back into the Andy playbook and pull out something from time to time. Like, he's not a stubborn dude.
Yeah, because you're going to take the good and you're going to add it on to the things that you already do well, and then you add it on. And I think that's what good coaches do, is they take little pieces of everything that you've been around throughout your career, and you add it to your arsenal in your playbook. Yeah. Pop saying, let's see how we look in December. That's when we find out where we stand. I love the start, but let's finish. That's the goal, no question about it. Michael DeAndre, appears Wentz is in a lot more control of the offense and even bringing in college plays to a point. And that's all of them. But guess what? That's by having 2 former quarterbacks and the guy's growth coming faster than anybody would expect, to be able to trust in him saying, hey, this is what when you see this in this situation, and it's just a whole command, and it all starts up top and works all the way through. But yeah, him having what Doug said before the season, it's going to take 5 years to master this offense. Well, this kid's getting to it quicker than anybody would think he would, and it just shows you on Monday and other games that you watch where he comes up and red deer, boom, sees what he gets. He got Nelson one-on-one, boom, touchdown, and that's the stuff you saw game 1 last year against Cleveland. Like, hold on. Is this kid audible in game 1 of his career? And that just shows you how much he cares. So it all plays a part. And we talked about it before. Doug's success equaled Carson's success and vice versa. It was never one or the other. If Carson's successful, Doug's going to be successful, right? It wouldn't be if Doug's successful and Carson can't be. It would never work like that. Carson can make Doug, to your point, look smarter. Well, of course he can. Right. But you can't knock Doug because Carson's a pimp. So it all goes hand in hand. And Michael DeAndre, all this kid does is study. Wentz is seeing the field much better. Pop, we need a QB that can read a defense. Oh, we have a QB that can read a defense. And
I take it that's a shot at number 5.
What do you got?
I got a ton on the YouTube
Let's
chat.
Get to some of the boys over there.
The one play that I think just set that whole thing up, though,
in a minute.
was he had, I want to say it was like a 2nd and maybe 18 or something like that after a penalty. And he comes out and he runs the read option, and he winds up getting like a good 22, 23 yards in the first down. And he was fired up after he hit the ground. And yeah, go ahead.
No, we'll do it when we go to break, because I don't want to mess with the gram.
I got you. But he was but he was fired up when he got up, and it was almost like one of those things like where we talked about, like a boxer needs to take a couple of shots during the fight to wake themselves up and get into the flow of the fight.
Yeah.
And I think for as much as he was running for his life a little bit in the first quarter, when he was the aggressor and still took the shot, it's like he popped up, he got back into the huddle, and then he was like, all right, game on, bitches. Mm-hmm. Like, here we go. And then all of a sudden, he was just on fire. I mean, he was just like, boom, boom, boom. But, YouTube chat, Todd Womack, agree with Tom on keeping Big V on the left side. Should trade Torrey Smith. Seems expendable at this point. Todd also said that trade deadline is actually Halloween, so it's Tuesday. Todd also said, would love to offer a 3rd-round pick for Joe Stanley. I think it's going to take a little more than a 3rd-round pick.
But do we even have a 3rd round? Did we give it a Buffalo?
We don't have a 3rd round.
Yeah.
No day 2 picks.
Right. And he said, Lane didn't look good at left tackle. And remember, Washington moved Kerrigan all over the line. You got to see what Big V does. J-Lash90, what up, fellas?
J-Lash.
How insane was it at the Link on Monday when the entire stadium was chanting MVP? Mike Sipek, what up, guys?
What's up, Mike?
This is interesting. So, Jay Lash says, love how my two underdogs going in have been balling out, Clement and Hollins. I've been high on Hollins since the beginning and have a feeling Clement will be a solid back for us. Notice no mention of Glassboro. Thank you.
Thank you.
But here's where
he didn't go to Rowan?
No, he didn't go to Rowan. Here's where it gets interesting. Alshon is a ticking time bomb. He is hiding in the bushes and will pop off soon.
Let's hope.
What do you mean by that? I don't think he means ticking time bomb as in he's waiting to go off statistically. I think he means like a ticking time bomb as in he's going to be a problem.
Interesting.
Darby, Micah DeAndrea, any word on Darby? And Pop said he practiced in full today.
Yeah, but he probably won't go this week.
I don't go. There's no need.
No.
Not right now.
At this point, I'm actually trying to keep him out through the bye week. Because, I mean, they go San Francisco, Denver, bye.
Right.
And then you come back Sunday night at Dallas.
I want him
Save
then.
him for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to save him for
no
Dallas.
problem with that.
Hey, Des.
No problem with
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
That's when you need him. Like you said, with these kind of injuries, man, let a guy get fully healthy.
Fully healthy.
When you're 6-1, you don't have to rush. If you're, let's say 3-3, or 3-4 or 4-3, then we gotta get him back on the field. We gotta get him back on the field. But you're in a good spot. Same thing with Sidney Jones. I don't put Sidney Jones on the field at all this year.
Nope.
That's a tough injury when you're talking about. It's a new ACL too. When you talk about Achilles, like the new ACL of the NFL right now. And I let him get fully healthy, give him the year because he's going to be a shell of himself. He's not going to be who he is athletically this year, but next year he will be. So why put him through that?
Don't kill
with
the
us, because you know what, we're rabid freaking dogs.
Well, this is good though because the talk continued. Jay Lash says if our other wide receivers and Ertz keep putting up numbers, eventually teams are going to take notice, spread out the coverage. That's going to open things up more for Alshon. Todd Womack says, "Preach, Tom. Keep Jeffrey for at least one more year, and the numbers go way up. Have to give Jeffrey at least a 4-year deal to keep him, but he'll be worth it." Pootie Tang, heartbreaking loss for the Sixers.
What's up, Pootie?
Pootie.
Yeah.
With a little side of tang.
J Lash 90, bring in Josh Gordon. You're smoking some of his stuff.
Shit.
I would.
Send it over. I mean,
Let's go.
We'll all smoke together. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, then he goes,
sign me up.
And then he goes, Jeffrey, some combination of Torian Hollins, Aguilar, Ertz, and Gordon, draft a stud wide receiver or stud running back. Boom.
That's Madden talk, but
It is Madden talk.
But no, I have no issue with Josh Gordon because I feel like just by his interview and him talking about Roger Goodell's now his friend, and a guy he looks up. This is a guy who suspended you, right? But that shows me that you're now a man now, and now you know what you did wrong, and you can admit to it. That's half the battle when you talk about a guy with.
But is he in football shape? I mean, he hasn't. When's the last time he played football?
Listen, he's 24 years old.
He's a specimen.
24?
He's not in
Yeah.
shape.
Really 24?
Yeah, no, he's 24. He's 24, 25.
I could have sworn he's a little older than 24.
Let's
But,
Google
you
that.
could be
I
right.
want to know. I
You
don't
could be
know.
right.
I'm
You
pretty
could be
sure
right.
he's still a baby. I'm pretty sure. Just because he's like, it feels like he's older because he's been in the news so much.
Wait.
I was like, when I heard he's only 24, 25, I'm like, wait, no way. I was saying what you said. I'm like, no shot.
You wanted Madden talk. This is the biggest Madden talk I think I've read in weeks. Once Jason Peters heals, trade him and our entire 2018 draft for the number 1 overall spot.
Barkley.
Land Saquon Barkley. This team will be the next great NFL franchise.
26. So, still young.
26, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, right, whatever. I was too
When Jason Peters-
I rounded down.
When Jason Peters is healthy, like that's going to happen.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Because 35-year-old tackles get traded.
Because they get healthy, and then they get traded for the number 1 pick. Well,
So
this,
when-
it is Cleveland. though.
2014 was his last year, so this is his 3rd year out of football.
football.
So there is something to be said about it. Now, you're not going to bring him in expecting to be a game changer right away, but one thing you can say about Josh Gordon, that he's a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
here's one that I want to give to you because I have a feeling you're going to have a real strong response on this.
No.
Hold on a second. There's one. J Lash, Josh Gordon would get baptized by Wentz and grow with this team. I love it.
We'll do a baptism right
here.
here. I'll bring a freaking pool in here. We'll dig it out. We'll get an in-grounder, and we'll baptize right here on
here
air.
you go. So Todd Womack says, offer the Steelers Torrey Smith for Martavis Bryant straight up.
No.
No.
Nope. Why do you want to add that stuff? I mean, Bill Polian said the other day that why would you want to add that? As a GM, I'm not looking to add that. It's a former GM talk. Lewis Riddick, same thing. Two guys. Lewis Riddick, I really respect.
Yes.
Lewis Riddick, same sentiment that I said when I found out. And people on Twitter crushed us that day. Remember that guy? You're reporting fake news. when I said that he wanted out after the win against Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then this report comes out that he still wants out, and I went back to the tweet and I said, what was fake about it now? All right. And he's like, you got me on that one. Like, he had fun back with it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to add that in. There's no need. When you got everything going well, and on paper, is it a great deal? Oh, hell yeah, sign me up on paper. But the guy's that much of a crumb.
Clubhouse
and that much of a me guy. And that you talking about a Hall of Famer. And Mike Tomlin can't get him in check.
Yeah.
Who else in the league is going to get him in check besides Bill and Tom? Ain't nobody. Tomlin's a hard-nosed coach, man. If he ain't getting this guy to buy in, and you got a me guy in Antonio, Le'Veon's either smoking or rapping if he's not stiff-arming.
And you know what?
So
I was willing.
I don't know.
I was willing to be tolerant of the whole Martavis Bryant thing until he threw his teammate under the bus.
Yeah.
Juju.
When he comes out and he goes,
How do you throw a guy named Juju on the bus?
I'm better. I'm better than Juju. I should be getting those opportunities. You want to rip the coaching staff for not having you in the game, for not calling plays to you. You even want to talk about the quarterback who has ripped you in the past for not getting you the ball. That's fine. When you got a brother at your position and you're going to talk shit on this guy, oh hell no.
Who's in every meeting with you, who you spend all this time with, and
he probably
you take a shot.
splits his peanut butter and jelly sandwich with him and stuff. Like, that's like me ripping you. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Why would we do? Yeah, why would we rip each other? Like, we're on the same team. Like, we might yell and scream at each other on here, and that's sports combo. But we're not going to go outside of here like, oh man, here's Tom again, or here's Mike up to his hand. Like, why? Like, no. That's where you don't understand the family side of it, and too many he's a cancer to me. And Charles, I think, Greg, you want any parts of him?
I on paper, I'm with you. On paper, if we're not a 6-1 team, I absolutely explore every option for it. But as a 6-1 team, you're right. You don't do that.
What a great clubhouse right now,
No.
a great locker room.
No, definitely not.
But you did bring up an interesting name, Tom and Bill. Tom and Bill might need a little help with Julian out.
It's a name, but do they even want to bring him in? Again,
no, I'm with you.
If Mike and Ben can't get it done and can't get the guy to buy in, who's going to make it? Who's going to make other guys? Justin Del Falco. I want Blunt to pound them. Listen, I think it's set up, and we talk about December, and Pop talked about December earlier, how important December is. We'll see. That's what you got LeGarrette Blunt for. Sure. You got him for the cold weather games, and you see him. You got him for the end of games.
Yeah, fourth quarter.
That's what you got him for. The guy never needs 20, 25 carries to me. I think that's overuse of him. Now, you want to talk about playoff time? You want to talk about cold in December games? Okay, I can see him getting 20 carries a game. But with all the guys in this backfield right now, I just don't see the need to be LeGarrette all the time. Wendell brings an element. Not this early. Corey brings an element. Them guys can do things with the ball in their hands. And the way Wendell ran on Monday night, man, he's got to continue to get more and more carries.
Yeah.
He's running hard too. But that's what competition breeds. It breeds guys playing harder, even at the wide receiver position. You bring in all this talent, guys want to one-up each other in a competitive way. And you see it in the secondary with all the talent back there, with young talent. So you see it all over the football team where guys are just trying to one-up each other in a good way.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of times people don't look down the road. Like Brett Brown is so fond of saying, like, you have to have a long lens. And when Brett's talking about the long lens.
Who says that?
Brett.
Brown?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he says you have to have the long lens. But when he's talking long lens, he's talking, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. In the NFL, my long lens is I'm looking to week 16, week 17, and then I'm working backwards. And I think what a lot of people don't look at is when you look at their schedule, they have back-to-backs on the West Coast in Seattle and Los Angeles. And then a couple weeks later, they finish out their season with 2 consecutive home games against the Raiders on Christmas night, who they should be able to gash on the ground, and the Cowboys on New Year's Eve day, who they should be able to gash on the ground. Mm-hmm. And if by holding LeGarrette back a little bit now means that he's fresh for December and the playoffs, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I was about to say that. It's the thing about Blunt is he's also not young. You have to keep him fresh.
Yeah.
But we brought him here for that reason. Like, we need him later on. He has that playoff experience. He knows what it takes to win late in the season, in the postseason. You need him fresh. And like Tom said, the other guys are running well. Smallwood deserves more carries as long as he can stay healthy. And then Clement has played played pretty decently. So there's no need to overuse Blunt this early.
Just please don't tell me that you like Corey Clement because he's from.
No. Okay, here we go. No. Here.
Oh, and it's okay that you like him.
No,
because I like him too.
I'm not. It's the opposite.
But I have a massive problem with people that go.
No.
He's awesome because he's from Glassboro.
No, I hear you.
The only person who gets local bias is Mike Trout. Nobody else gets local bias.
It's cool to root for him because he's from Glassboro. I have a friend who went to who knew him from grade school and stuff. So it's cool. But the thing is, here's the thing: when we signed Clement as an undrafted free agent, I liked the signing because at the time we only had Pumphrey, Smallwood, and Sproles. We needed a bigger back, and then we signed Blunt, and I was like, all right, I guess Clement's the odd man out. When the preseason came and everyone was all like riding Clement's like jockstrap, saying, "Oh, he's the best. He's running like the best running back of the group. He should definitely make the team." Like that kind of went out of hand. I was like in the minority. I wasn't the biggest Clement fan. He's a solid running back. He's decent. He has good footwork. He has underrated speed. The thing is, he's not special in any area. He'll get you decent yards. He's reliable in some areas, and he's improved in pass protection and in the receiving game, which is good.
No
one
talked about that catch.
No one talked about the catch. That's a decent. That's a
wide out at first.
That's a good wheel route. He ran a good wheel route. So I mean, he's improving. I just think like people have to pump the brakes on Clement. He's decent. He'll be a solid running back, like as a depth guy, change of pace guy.
Hit the e-brake
but he's
for a minute.
not.
Hit the e-brake.
He's nothing. He's nothing
All
special.
right.
Clement is nothing special. Calm down, Clement. It's good that we have him in a rotation, but if you want him to be a primary back, you're in trouble.
Well, Wendell does one thing really well too. He pass blocks really well, and that's why he's going to be on the field more. And and that's something he had to go through growing pains as a rookie.
He's
last
gotten better.
year,
He's gotten better.
He's gotten better and better.
Even from week one, he had one really atrocious attempt at a pass block week one. It was really bad, but from then on, he's improved every week, and it's something he has to continue to improve.
We got breaking news out of Los Angeles. Verlander perfect through 4. A no-hitter into the 5th, broken up by a Jock Peterson solo homer to tie the game at 1.
Young Jock.
Young Jock.
Young Jock decided to make an appearance.
Didn't even know where is he starting. Is he in center
probably
over Taylor?
I'm going to
Because of the
assume.
righty?
I'm going to assume he's probably
Taylor's
in
the righty.
Yeah.
Interesting time to bust him out.
Oh, and if
Paid off.
if he's in center, maybe they move Taylor to left.
Yeah, it could. Or probably Kiki Hernandez.
They may. I don't know. They may have Granderson in there. I haven't looked at
No,
their.
Granderson didn't even get put on the World Series roster.
He's not on the roster.
No, that's the other hand.
Speaking of not on the roster, what about this freaking crumb, Adrian Gonzalez? Not even at the game last night. Didn't even show up for the game.
Says, I need to know why they never got over the hump before, right?
Ah.
Right? I mean, that says all I need to know when one of your leaders is that crummish.
It goes back
right?
to who did Boston trade to get them over the hump after that tailspin?
Right.
Gonzalez, Beckett, that whole crew.
Well, addition by subtraction.
Exactly.
And then they got over it.
Cut the clubhouse cancers out, and away they go.
David Rauska, what's up, boys? What up, David?
What up, David?
I know you were asking earlier about the Hockey Happy Hour, in talks with Maddie about, seeing if they can get it rolling on Saturday. So we'll keep you in tune there, brother. Mike, who's right over there. Eagles have the third easiest second-half schedule.
You need to touch on that real quick, too, because you threw something out on the book the other day that I thought was a phenomenal point about the Birds' schedule.
What did I say?
Oh, about how
lot.
about how at the beginning of the season everyone was like, the Eagles aren't going to do anything because their schedule's so easy.
Oh, people
or because their schedule's so hard.
People
now
we want to change the narrative, right? In terms of the haters want to change the narrative, and now it's an easy schedule. Well, you know what? You know what's even easier? We gave six teams losses.
Right.
Put that in there. We gave Washington 2. So before the season, I think we all talked about it. I know you talked about it, how tough this schedule was and how it was a difficult schedule. You started out on the road a lot. You weren't home for a little bit, all that kind of thing. Divisional game to start on the road, all that kind of stuff. And now it's an easy schedule. Now, granted, second half, to your point, wins, losses it is. It's an easy schedule second half. I wasn't referring to that. I'm referring more to the guys out there that talk about it as a reason to say, well, this isn't a good football team. Do we know the NFL by now? Do we not understand the NFL? I mean, the parity in the league is so even that any Sunday, Buffalo can go into Atlanta, and nobody usually beats Atlanta in Atlanta. Everybody does, and beats them. So you just never know. The Jets were winning football games. So you play who's on your schedule, and if you beat up on teams and you consistently have double-digit wins, how are we going to change the narrative and say, well, it's an easy schedule? You can't do that.
And here's the other thing.
I love cake, but you can't.
Right, but the other reason that's always such a flawed argument is they say, oh, well, look at the combined win-loss record of all the teams you beat. Okay, fine, but what was their win-loss record the week that you played them? Because Washington was 0-0. Kansas City was 1-0. Giants were 0-2, not 0-6.
Odell played in that football game, too.
Odell played, yeah.
Everybody played for them. They were healthy. That was the toast of the division,
Did anyone expect the Giants to suck? Did anyone expect the Chargers to suck? Did anyone expect...
and the Chargers actually show you that. Chargers actually showing that all them teams. They're a good football team.
They're a good football team.
Yeah. Did anybody expect Arizona to come in here and honestly completely shit the bed? No.
No, I mean, I know the guy that's sitting over there claimed we wanted to crown their goddamn secondary here. And I said, pump your brakes on Patrick Peterson because he ain't the guy you think he is. But that's a story for another day. Some guys watch tape. Some guys just want to spit it. And so to each your own. I mean, you crown a guy for what he did in the past. Patrick Peterson is not a lockdown number one corner anymore in this league. That's facts. Watch him tape on the guy. He gets beat a lot. Now, I know corners get beat. He's just not the guy he was 3 years ago. And that's the point I was trying to make to my buddy who came on the show with us a couple weeks ago, that before the Arizona game, that I think you're giving that secondary way too much credit. Tyrann Mathieu, you talk about the injuries. It's going to take him another year before we beat a guy who he is. So that defense isn't Calais Campbell leaving. Guys like that, they lost a lot defensively to just say, oh, well, let's crown them. Crown them. And plus, when you can't do anything offensively, you're going to leave your defense on the field a lot. And they are. And that's another reason why I think Patrick Peterson's what? How old is he now?
That I don't
28.
know.
28.
I mean,
late 20s.
Late 20s. I mean, it's just like a lot of wear and tear. At one point, he was one of the best corners in football.
At one point, yeah.
I just don't believe he is now, even a top 5. I'll make an argument he ain't even top 10. There's a lot of good corners in this league. And let's start writing Jacksonville with Jalen Ramsey.
I want to hit you. I want to hit you guys with a
Boye might be better than him too.
A stat just for shits and giggles on this one.
Now, I don't know.
So my buddy John Q, posts this stat on the book, and he says he can't take credit for it. It is a Reuben Frank stat. Carson Wentz has 2 4-touchdown games in the last 16 days. The Cleveland Browns have had 1 4-touchdown game in the last 3,690 days.
Fire. That's what happens when you hire analytics.
He said, if I owned the Browns, I would fire everybody.
Yeah, well, guess what? You went out and hired a baseball guy when them analytics never worked for nothing. That was all Moneyball was built on was small market teams that have no money to be able to be successful or competitive. That's all it was built on. And now every team wants to run with some form of analytics, and you want to hire a guy who was an analytic guy. And what did the analytics tell you? Well, the analytics told him that Carson ain't the guy we want. We'd rather accumulate picks. Well, how'd that work out for you? The same organization that says, oh, we're going to London this week. Guess what? Deshaun, I know you were the 3rd string last week. Now you're back up and starting again. Yeah. What are you doing? And I feel bad for Hugh Jackson, honestly. I really do, because I think it's a really good football
we talked a little bit about it last week. The quarterback on that team should be starting as Cody Kessler. I mean, at this point in time, Deshaun's got to just sit and watch.
Yeah.
Kevin Hogan's a nobody.
Yeah, called a wrap. We had enough.
I mean, come on.
It's 16 and under on the gram. They had enough of us. Yeah. But no, I mean, Mike, you're right. So, Pop's saying, wow, I don't know. I guess it's probably wow to the stat. That's freaking absurd.
It is absurd.
Michael DeAndre, Eagles had the 10th hardest schedule coming into the season. Again, guys want to change the narrative. Shannon Sharp the other day crushing Skip, putting him right in his place because
Skip's a buffoon.
Skip has the hate hat on. He's 27, Rob. Nice. So he's only 27. I just feel like, man, I don't know. Just not the guy who ever was.
Here's the thing with Shannon, though. Where did Shannon play? Green Bay, where he was a teammate of Doug Peterson. So he knows Doug, and he knows what Doug knows and does not know.
Ain't no stopping us. One of the greatest things. I'm glad I watched the whole video to the end of that to be able to hear him say that in the skit, which is great. Like, even me, like, I gave Dak a lot of heat early on. And listen, I'll come right out and say it. I gave him a lot of heat. He's developing. He's getting better on things that he needed to get better on. So I can take the hate hat off and the Eagles love hat off and say, dude's getting better. I can give the guy love for getting better and fixing some things that I thought were issues of him. I thought footwork issues he needed to work on. And I thought week 1 and 2 he still wasn't there yet.
Accuracy was inconsistent.
You know what?
Getting better and better.
Yes.
So credit where credit's due. I mean, he beat the Niners. Whatever. I'm not crediting that.
Well, it's funny,
but
though.
I thought he's played better.
So Fox Sports actually threw out the meme
He
today.
played in Denver. Yeah, Shannon played in Denver, Vinny said.
Sterling played in.
Sterling.
All right, yeah, Sterling. So,
But they're still sharp.
sharp. Yeah.
Yeah, what did they do, Doc?
Yeah, they absolutely knew Doug. But Fox Sports threw out the thing today where they threw the little meme up there where it was, heart for Wentz and smiley face for Dak. And, if you had to start a franchise today, which quarterback do you take?
Yeah, it's not a question.
And it's funny because there was like a shit ton of responses and everything like that. And then at the bottom you see Fox Sports moderator. Well, clearly every Dallas fan wants Dak, and fans of all 31 other teams go for Wentz.
Bobby, pump your brakes. What did I just say? Typical Cowboy fan that don't want to listen, Bob. He said, Dak is unbelievable. Come on, Tommy. I just gave the guy credit. I just said he's developing. He's getting better. To call him unbelievable, I think you need the emergency break real quick. Okay? Is he good? Is he getting better? Yes. Is he even in the conversation of Carson Wentz right now? And if you believe he is, that's Homer hat. That's Homer hat. Can we all agree there? Is the guy getting better? Has he worked on some things? Yes. Is he unbelievable?
Here's the thing with Dak. And I agree. Cowboys fans are never going to live it up. You'll give them credit. You'll tell how you honestly, objectively think it is. But they want it all. They want him to, oh, no, Dak is still better than Wentz. Here's the thing about Dak. I need to see him play if Zeke is suspended. Well, and with the offense
you're right, because
I
was just going to say, take the Eagles running backs, put him in Dallas's backfield, and let's see what Dak can do.
Since last season, this Eagles offense has gone through Wentz. Since last season, the Cowboys offense has gone through Zeke every single game. And don't tell me
right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And Dak is a good quarterback.
Very good.
Yeah.
And
very
he's
good.
Improving.
Yes.
But now, can you be the focal point of an offense?
He's a good quarterback on the rise. Is he unbelievable? No.
He makes mistakes. And I think earlier on, especially in this season, you saw his quote-unquote rookie mistakes that were masked last year exposed earlier this season. Right. Now he's starting to get better, and I have no problem giving him that. Dak is going to be a great quarterback. I think he has that potential to be one.
He gets it. He's a worker.
Yeah, he's very, very good. He's going to cause us problems for years and years. I'll tell you that. But to just say that he's definitely better than Wentz, you're not looking at the tape. He doesn't have the same arm as Wentz. He doesn't have the same intangibles or pre-snap reads as Wentz. Wentz just he's further along his development than Dak is right now. Mm-hmm. And it's you can't, as someone who's unbiased, I have friends obviously who are not fans of Eagles and Cowboys. They all say Wentz over Dak.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing.
It's not even close.
But let's be fair about it for a minute. Wentz was a number 2 overall pick in the draft. Dak is what was he, a 4th round?
4th round, yeah.
So, I mean, it's other than the fact that they're both NFL quarterbacks, it's not a true apples to apples comparison.
No, but
you'd expect Carson to be further along. He should be. He should be.
But guess what? According to Cowboys fans that are biased, that they believe Dak's further along than Carson. That's just ridiculous talk. That's just you take your credibility and it goes away. I can sit on this couch and eat a little bit of crow, and I said nothing wrong. Earlier on. I looked at the things that I looked at footwork-wise and accuracy issues and said after week 1 and 2, he did not develop yet. Some things. Has he got better? Yes. Am I crowning the guy? No. Not even close. And when you got Justin DelFalco saying Dak is nothing without a running game, that's what I think we all need to see.
I want to see that.
When you're the guy and Pootie Tang saying, let me see when Carson gets a 3-down back, how that works.
I got comments here too, yeah. On the so you got Rob said Patrick Peterson's playing hurt. Nobody's talking about it, but it's true. And yes, you are correct. KXNG, I hate Peterson's running back rotation. So do I.
Isn't that Deuce? Is the call? That's
Deuce.
Deuce's
It
call.
is.
It is Deuce, and right now you can't really argue with the results. So
No.
They're all playing fine.
yeah, and
I'm not gonna
then
complain.
like you said, Pootie Tang, just wait until Wentz has a feature 3-down back. I don't know if he's going to though.
Right.
I don't
lost
know
your
that
comment,
that's.
Ryan.
I don't know
Comment
that
again.
that's their. I don't know that that's their MO.
I think Peterson would like one because even when Peterson was in Kansas City, they ran through Jamal Charles. So I think they would like to have one. Will the offense go through that running back? No, definitely not. But it would be nice to have a guy you can put in all 3 downs, just like you had with Westbrook and McCoy,
All right, well,
and not have to worry about that.
Understood, but
Yeah.
let's back up a whole bunch. And I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I understand the point about Kansas City, but even though the offense ran through Jamal Charles, what was the problem? Jamal Charles could never stay healthy. Rewind all the way back to 2002, 2003, 2004, when Doug came back to Philly as an assistant with Andy. They were running Deuce Staley, Carell Buckhalter, and Brian Westbrook.
That was one season though. That
Right,
was only one
but,
season.
but even as it progressed, they were still Westbrook and Buckhalter. They went to a Super Bowl with Westbrook and Buckhalter. So
Who's CJ?
I don't think you can have.
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
Wentz?
No, it's okay. I don't think you can have a 3-back rotation and
Quarterback from the Niners.
run it,
Yeah.
as effectively as the Birds are right now long term. I think you do have to pare that down to at least 2 backs.
Yeah.
But again, do you want to argue with the results right now? No, they're a
No, you
6-1
don't wanna
football
argue.
team, and I'm not going to say. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say a thing.
I was an advocate. I was praying for Kareem Hunt this past draft, and it broke my heart that the Chiefs went up and grabbed him because I thought he would have been perfect in this offense. I've been screaming Kareem Hunt for months since early in February. So, but like I think that if you have, I agree with you about you get 2 guys in there because I think you have to have a quote unquote primary guy who's going to be your main running back, but you do have to keep him fresh. Like wear and tear is an issue, so you have to have a good second guy who can come in, spell him, and get like 10 carries a game to keep the guy fresh. Because also I believe that in this offense, you have to have a running back who can also catch passes.
Yeah, of
and
course.
so you're going to get that your main running back is going to have to get like 20 touches a game, 25 touches a game. You need a guy who can be behind him, and if you're going to have a game plan where you're running the ball a lot, you need a guy to keep him fresh. So I believe that like you need to have 2 guys, but I think that it is possible. You get in this upcoming draft next year, I really do think top priority is offensive tackle, and I think it's arguable between linebacker and running back. But you need a running back because I don't think Blunt's going to be here past this season. So
And that's fine.
yeah,
Ryan saying, I will forever thank Cleveland for passing on Wentz. Those guys in the organization must secretly be Eagles fans. That move will haunt them forever. Yeah, it will. It will. It's almost like Ryan Leaf and Peyton almost in a way. You guys want to take a break? Come back?
I was going to say we're at 15, so let's go to break and
Yeah, we'll go to break.
come back and switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll continue
Chrome.
Eagles talk. We'll talk Fultz situation as well. We'll get into a little World Series conversation. The Chrome man's going to come in. Charles is going to head out. Charles,
Thanks a
inside
lot, guys.
brother.
It was fun.
Love it.
that
Love
was
it.
mad fun.
Birds of a feather, right? Is that what you guys are going to call it, right?
Yep, birds of a feather.
November.
Tuesdays at we decide on 8
I think 8, right?
8 o'clock.
That was over a couple cocktails and some wings. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it changed. Maybe it's that.
Birds of a feather Tuesday. I'll let Chrome come in and close it up and plug it in at the end of the show.
Plug it in. That's what she said.
Holla.
Holla.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com, streamsmart.com. Every NFL, NBA, all the sports. We don't have to do all the rundown. Streamsmart.com, StreamSmart, Vinny. Drop the link in here, Vin. Get the A2D promo code. Take care of yourself. All right, take care of your lady, too, because she can watch anything. And also take care of your lady. Soap Stash LLC, the new soap standard. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Welcome back, Tom.
Mike,
AM.
in the PM.
A2DRadio.com. I'm cracking brand new phone screens. It's a freaking issue in here. Tom Renaud, Michael Matarak, Greg Moakovic. Mike the Chrome. Can I go Mike Chrome?
Yeah, it works.
Mike the Chrome?
Absolutely.
Chromiac.
Mikey the Chrome.
Mikey the Chrome.
Mikey the Greek.
Mikey the Greek. Mikey the Chrome. Rob Poe on the ones and twos. We're live from the BMW of Atlantic City studios. BMW Atlantic City, we're off exit 17 in the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com every Wednesday night. We're brought to you by our certified public accountant, Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. We start off the show in our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, ScanzanoSports.com. How should the Eagles replace Jason Peters at left tackle? Play Big V at left tackle, move Johnson to left tackle, explore trade options, other. I know you talked about exploring trade options. You, Mr. Moakovic.
I was move Lane.
Move Lane.
Move Lane.
I was keep it status quo, Big V, and keep Lane at right tackle. Mike, you weren't on then?
Definitely explore trade options. I don't believe – I'm with you. Don't fix what doesn't need to be moved.
Don't hurt a spot to get another spot.
Yeah, no,
to fix
absolutely.
another issue.
Real quick, I got breaking news out of L.A. Welcome back, Corey Seager.
Oh.
Dodgers take their first lead of the series. Bottom of the seventh, Corey Seager, 2-run Oppo Boppo. And,
First lead of the game, right?
No, first lead.
They won the other night.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. First lead of game 2. Yes, my bad.
We went an hour.
Hey, long day for you today, Mikey.
You ain't even kidding. You know what? I could do 10 minutes on that bullshit today, but I digress. So first lead of game 2, Dodgers 3-1, and Adam Schefter reporting Jaguars linebacker Telvin Smith, 4-year extension worth up to $50 million.
Wow. Paying your guys. I get it.
Got him.
I thought I got it already, and I cracked my screen, and I missed the son of a bitch. And now he's back out again. Daniel Bakley, hey, guys, what did I miss? You missed a lot of Eagles talk, obviously.
Oh, nothing.
And he says keep playing at right tackle. So a guy who –
What's up, Dan?
And I said I talked to my neighbor, who played offensive line and tackle at Pennsauken and was a big-time offensive lineman. And went to West Virginia, played O-line there, and talked about footwork and the plant foot being different from each position, saying, hey, man, I just keep laying where he's at. It's working, and Big V's has got to hold up over there. So that was sort of his assessment. Not saying he wanted to explore trade options. We didn't get into all that. We just got into, hey, what do you do? Like, do you think it's too big of a jump to move him over from right to left? And that was sort of his assessment on it. And I respect the hell out of his assessment.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense for sure.
I'm just cracking up over here. Hey, guys, what'd I miss?
Yeah,
hey, guys, want to hang out? I'll hang out.
Come hang out, Dan.
Can I hang out? You want to hang out?
Come hang out, Dan. So we're going to get into, and we'll continue Eagles talk. You want to chime in, let us know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, anything you want to know, questions, whatever, we'll answer them. We're going to get into a little Markelle Fultz situation now. And it's time to flat out crush Brian Colangelo, Scott O'Neal, and Joshua Harris. And that's facts. So, boys, the Sixers botched another injury, and Mike, I'll start with you, just your opinion on it, and, when are they going to be truthful is really the question, if ever.
My opinion on this is after the contract that they gave to Embiid, with the Simmons history the previous year, the Embiid history the previous 2 or 3 years, take it all the way back to the Andrew Bynum fiasco, I think this team was scared shitless to go into the season without their number 1 overall draft pick on the roster, and they basically forced him to more or less go out there and give it your best shot. And now the kid's paying for it. And I feel like they jeopardized a good portion of this kid's season just so they would have him on opening night.
Yeah, and to not deal with the criticism from us and, local, national media that, another top 3 pick isn't playing. And, I again, to his point, spot on, because it's like what's most important is your asset. What's most important is his mental state. So you're putting a guy out there who switched his shot up because he's hurt so much and all the things that go with that, and you're going to throw him out there because you care about all the A, B, C, and D, and you don't care about the kid himself because he's the most important thing. Because once the mental goes, it's hard to get back for a lot of guys. And that's my issue with it. And to be honest with the fan base, with the media, if the guy's banged up, the guy's banged up. And you got the agent come out, say, fluid drain. Then it's, we got a shot in there. Well, what is it? Because nothing adds up on what you're saying. And the trainer comes out, sweeps texted me today. Trainer comes out and talks about, hey, we didn't change his shot. We didn't change his shot at all. And again, why would you? Would be the real, why would you change a guy who flat out lit up in college? And I'm a Markelle guy, and I'm not going to run away from being a Markelle guy because I think what he brings, that his offensive game flat out translates in the NBA. The guy can get to the bucket, but again, if you're not fully healthy and your shoulder's not fully healthy, one, the push off of a layup or just the physicality that you would drive in the lane with, the create contact and other things, you're going to shy away from. So your thoughts, Greg, and then we'll go to Mike.
Yes, I agree that they were scared, but I also think that they said it's not a knee, it's not an ankle, it's not anything on a lower body. Let's see if the kid can play through it. Not necessarily, maybe he wasn't, maybe he didn't lead on to be as hurt as he thought he was to start the year. Whatever. Maybe they just thought because it was just a shoulder, he'd be able to play through it, and then maybe it got worse. Maybe he hit the deck hard one time, and maybe no one noticed it, and maybe it flared up a little bit more. I didn't really think of it as a huge deal. I do think there is some trepidation, though, of that thin ice that the organization is playing with the fan base in, another pick being hurt. But I also just think maybe this one was, hey, it's nothing that we think is too serious for the game of basketball. It's not a lower body. It's not, again, a knee and ankle. Let's just see if the kid can play through it and see if he's a gamer and all of a sudden now it's a little bit more than maybe they all thought it
So,
was.
see, I don't disagree with you at all, but my counterpoint to that would be, how could they not? Like, if you watch this kid play Summer League, and I understand that he got a little banged up in Summer League and they had to shut him down early, but if you watch this kid play Summer League, he was draining threes. His stroke at the free throw line looked way less mechanical than it does now. I mean, was he a smooth free throw shooter? No, he wasn't. But right now, I mean, when you see this kid go to the line, I mean, he looks like a third grader.
Yeah.
And he hasn't, not only has he not made a shot outside of 16 feet, he hasn't taken a shot outside of 16 feet. So when you got a kid who spent a couple of Summer League games just raining threes, and now he won't even take a shot outside of 16 feet, I mean, the training staff clearly just missed the boat on this. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're talking about how he was you're looking at how he was playing in the Summer League, and obviously for Fultz, he's a kid that his shot is what opens up the lane for him to be able to drive.
Right.
By not having that ability to shoot, he's going to take more contact driving the lane, even if he's going to kick the ball out. And it's when I watch him on the free throw line, it's almost like watching The Sandlot when the kid's learning how to throw the ball in the outfield.
That's such a great reference.
It's so brutal to watch him. You know, it's almost like watching a kid learn how to throw a ball for the first time. But what drives me crazy is, you know, when you had Henke here, there was no lies. It was, hey, we're going to stink for this long, and hey, you know, this is what we have to do to build. All of a sudden, Colangelo comes in, and now we're having dishonesty with these injuries. And what pains me is that, you know, you have momentum coming in because if he's out, hey, we're going to sit this kid for a month or we're going to sit him for 2 months. You still have that momentum behind. Now we have Embiid back. Mm-hmm. We have Simmons back. There's still there's multiple things to look forward to. You have a guy like J.J. Redick there who can teach these young guys how to overcome an adversity like this, where a guy who's supposed to be a key part of coming in is now going to be sitting out. This is what we have to do to overcome. And it's just every time you turn around, it's Colangelo comes in and there's just total dishonesty there, and it's frustrating as a fan, you know, to have to sit there and know that you're being basically spoon-fed bullshit.
Right.
You know.
Oh, and it's interesting that you said that too. When you referenced, you know, Embiid being back and then Simmons being healthy. Rob Povey just fed Tom and I a stat. Most combined points, rebounds, and assists first 5 games of an NBA career. Ben Simmons, number 1 all time. 169. Next, Michael Jordan, 167.
So clearly he's better than Jordan.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Go.
LeBron, third at 155.
Yeah, he sucks.
Jason Kidd, a distant fourth, 124.
Interesting, though. Or maybe not so interesting that Jason Kidd is a part of that conversation. I didn't think he was that much of a scorer right out of Cal. You knew that the assists were going to be there. I didn't think he was that much of a
He
scorer.
boarded well too.
Yeah.
He was like a walking triple double. Seriously, and I think Simmons could be as well. He should be.
He's been darn near close to it
I
so
mean,
far.
His athleticism and the way he's built for his size, and that he is a special talent.
Well, we talked a little bit about it last week. I mean, when this kid learns to finish, he's just going to be filthy. I mean, he's already filthy. When he finally understands that he's 6'10", 265, and he should be throwing the ball down anytime he gets into the paint, he's going to be real dangerous.
Yeah, he's also got to get over that timidness that he's showing a little bit right now. He missed a few easy ones tonight. Where you're right, just go up and finish it. Don't try and finger roll it. Just be a man and finish it. Like, just let's go.
Or yes, absolutely. But if you don't think you can get to the cup to finish it, keep working on that jump stop, like 8 to 10 footer, where you're just going to stop, you know, short of the dotted line, just raise up and just drop it in. You know.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have, you know, good nights and bad nights
Yeah.
shooting the basketball. And, you know, I think his shot's better than what it was. No question. It looks like he's a worker, and he puts the work in. He's developing into a really special player right now. So something that not Michael Carter Williams type where you can fix it, but I just think he's a little more smoother. There's not like a hiccup in it, and it's really just confidence over time, trusting that 10 to 15 foot jumper over and over and over again.
I definitely think confidence too, because when he's on, it looks effortless. Absolutely effortless.
You're right.
No question.
Pootie Tang, someone needs a body slam Brian Colangelo.
Yes.
I'll raise my hand to that. No question about it.
I'll volunteer for that.
Daniel Bakley, all he's done has been driving for layups or driving and dishing. You could easily tell he altered his foul shooting. Yeah, and he altered his shot the other night when, he had an open three, and that's a shot he's going to take.
Yeah.
Every time he gets it, he ends up going in and settling for maybe a 12 to 15-footer and missed that as well. And the shot just looked off, and obviously we know why. Charles is over there. Simmons is already tearing it up, and he doesn't even know how to completely play. He's got to learn to finish, I agree, and he also has to trust his outside jumper. But once he does, it's over because he has all the other skill sets.
Yeah.
It's just being able to trust that jumper over and over and over again.
And you saw in a little bit of tonight's game, it was Houston was going to play off of him, allowing him to shoot the jump shot. And when he didn't take it, that middle was congested when he tried to drive.
Right.
Which, of course, is going to happen. It's going to happen more and more as we go throughout the year. And Ben shows the reluctancy to shoot the ball. Now, of course, with that shooting it, you also have to make it. Because if you just shoot the ball, they're still not going to guard you unless you start to make it. But, it's going to be that fine line of, do I shoot here? Do I drive and kick? Do I drive and just beast my way to the bucket? It's gonna be each and every game. We're gonna see a different. Hopefully, we see a different elevation of his game.
Right. Yeah. And I think the one takeaway that I've had from these first 5 games now is JoJo's got to work inside out, not outside in. And if they want to run that high screen roll at the top of the key, they should be running that with JJ, because his release is so quick that even if there's a bigger man on him, if he screens, gets the ball from Ben, and if he can get around that screen and pop out and go, I mean, come on, it's almost a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with JoJo going inside out. The other night where he was 0 from 8 from the floor, I wanted to strangle the 7. I wanted to strangle the monster. Like I wanted to kill him. Like, go inside. The first time he touched the ball inside, he made a bucket. Like, I'm just like, don't you see this? And, you ask any shooter when they're struggling, what they do? I get to the foul line. I go get a layup. I watch the ball go through the hoop. So my mindset starts to change that, all right, now when I take this shot, my mindset, this is going in, as opposed to it looked like JoJo for a few games was like, I have to take it because I'm open, but I don't know if this is really going to go in.
Well, and the perfect example that he could look at is a team they played Friday night, Celtics, Al Horford. Horford took a couple of threes early, missed them, immediately got himself down onto the low block, went to work inside, to your point, saw the ball go through the hoop a few times, and then started extending his game. And then in the fourth quarter, him and Shane Larkin just, that was that.
Yeah, Shane Larkin, who wasn't even in the league last year, ends up lighting us up, and that goes to Pootie Tang. A healthy Fultz will help us close games when we have a lead once he adjusts to the NBA. These late game collapses make me cry, and they're hurting me too, and I think they hurt everybody. There's no such thing as a good loss. They're playing competitive basketball, and now it's learning, like, how do we finish? We're a young basketball team, a lot of young pieces. How do we learn how to finish? And I think once they figure that out and they close out some games late that they've had leads in, I think you're going to see it get better and better and better as we go. And listen, I love Markelle Fultz. I don't know why it's so hard from the agent side of things to the Philadelphia 76ers to just be honest and come out on what the truth is. The agent going back and forth, changing up his story, makes no sense to me. Did the Sixers make a phone call to you?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And, again, my trust level for Brian Colangelo has never been lower than it's ever been because it continues. It's the third straight time to me that he's lied to my goddamn face. And lied to us a lot last year when we talked about ad nauseum the JoJo situation, where it's okay, he's healthy for that ESPN Friday night game. But then all of a sudden, he's not. Interesting. But that injury came before that game?
Yeah.
Well, you know what you know exactly how I felt about that. Mike, I want to ask you a quick question though. Just looking at the start that we got off to, because I mean, you got the shirt on, you're ready to roll. In a vacuum, and this is follow me on this. In a vacuum, would you have expected them in the current incarnation to beat Washington?
I was encouraged coming into the Washington game that they would compete. I don't know that I expected them to win.
Okay, so that's good. Stop there and let's go to Boston. Same question.
I definitely did not chalk that up as a W, but again, I thought that was a good measuring stick early to see where they would be at.
Okay, let's go to Toronto.
Kind of Toronto, same thing, similar to Boston. I think Toronto's right behind there. And there's a lot of games early in the season that I don't necessarily look at as W's.
Okay, so let's hold that thought. Let's go to Detroit. Thoughts there?
I definitely thought Detroit was a W. Yeah.
Okay, so then you come tonight, Houston. In a vacuum.
I would probably say no. I did not expect a W out of that.
So clearly the NBA schedule makers have done them no favors.
Right. I agree.
When 4 out of your first 5 are Washington, Boston, Toronto, and Houston. And we talked about this last week.
Top 4 in the East.
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, yeah.
I mean, we talked about this last week where, when we were talking about our predictions and how we thought we saw the season unfolding. I think the one thing that we were all in agreement with was that they were not likely to get off to a hot start. The schedule just wasn't in their favor, and they needed some time to gel. So, Mike, to your point, I'm actually encouraged by a lot of what I see. Yeah. I think, clearly the one game that JoJo didn't play, they got blown out. So it's pretty obvious that he's the linchpin, and they need him to be competitive. But in the 4 games that he's played, they've won 1, and the 3 that they lost, they were way more competitive than they have been in the past. So
I'm going to tie it right into this, and I'm hearing a lot of it. Okay, Pootie Tang over on YouTube. What do you think about Brett Brown so far this season? I'm going to tie it right into my buddy Joe Ursino's comment. Tom just left the Sixers game. Brett Brown in caps must go, buddy. I know you love him, but we could coach this team and have 2 more wins than he does. And my response is, I'm getting there. But the last 2-3 years, I can't base his coaching level off of the talent that was on this basketball team and this roster. Now, with talent, I can start to. But again, this is all time to gel, man. Like, bad organizations, what do? They recycle. They keep going through coach. You got to give it some time. I'm not saying he hasn't made bad coaching decisions. I'm not saying that. Wilson Sweep's getting on me that he's more of an assistant. Some guys are just not head coaches. Tom's a Brett Brown apologist. I'm not a Brett Brown apologist. I know what the guys had to deal with in terms of talent on a goddamn roster. So you can call me apologist all you want, or be fair to a guy who's dealt with a lot of goddamn slop, and now 5 games in, he's got to go. Like, I'm not saying he hasn't made bad coaching decisions. But again, why are we always coach? Right? First got to go. Let's give it a year or 2 with the talent. What's the rush? I mean, what you thought people thought you were going to compete for an NBA championship this year?
That's what Mike was just referring to.
I felt like
the first 5-6 games, what are you at best 2-3? At best. But if JoJo doesn't play Toronto, then you're not winning that game.
Well, in fairness, you go after the head coach because you can't fire 12 other guys. So start with that. But the thing is, it's very encouraging what you're seeing. Obviously, I agree. This is right about where I would have expected them to be at. It's tough because if you're in games, doesn't matter how good or whether you are or aren't supposed to win on paper, you got to learn to close out. And I think that will come with time. It's frustrating because it's like with the Eagles against Kansas City. It's a game that not a lot of people really were sure if they were going to be in it the way they were. But you're that close, you got to close out that game.
Now you finish, yep.
So I understand the frustration where everybody's at this point, but I see way more positive, and I agree there's no moral victories, but I see way more positive from the development that I've seen with guys like Covington, who's hitting hitting 3-pointers almost at will at this point. J.J. Redick, the effects that he's had, obviously, in the locker room and on the court with the play consistently. I'm very encouraged. It's just those last I would say the second half of the fourth quarter, that last 6 minutes that they really need to own.
But that comes from having a young team
Right.
that hasn't played together.
Absolutely.
That is still trying to find its gel. I mean, you can.
But fire the coach.
Yeah, I mean,
get him out there.
I don't want to hear Brett Brown for a year.
No, I think that's
like
fair,
if
man.
we're in the same spot next year.
Yeah.
And listen, I respect the hell out of Joey when it comes to basketball. You know, I'm not taking anything away from his assessment or telling him he's wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying here? I'm not being an apologist for the guy. I'm being fair to a guy who deserves to be fair. He says the lack of talent hid his inabilities. Maybe so. But I got to give him time with talent now.
Five games doesn't prove that.
No, and a season, 82 doesn't prove it, essentially. But you double up 82, now you start to prove it.
Yeah.
Can he coach or not coach at this level? At that point, you're still a young basketball team. Then you can go out and get your Mark Jacksons or guys you want to get, right? I mean, I just can't. I keep telling guys, I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet.
I've always been a believer, though, and this is one little bit of an exception because he's been here for a while, but I've always been a believer that when your program is now in place and you have a head coach there, you give him 3 years. Now, with this, I'm not saying give him 3 years, but I do think this guy's earned at least a full year and then a consideration into next year with all the bullshit he's had to deal with over the last few years. The lack of talent. He sat, and every night he stood there, answered every question. He has taken the heat. He has defended his players and their play. And in fairness, I think he's been very honest when they've disappointed, or if he doesn't like minutes restrictions on certain guys. He's very honest about it. I think respectfully, but he is.
Yeah.
I think this guy's earned at least a full year, and then into next year, let's see how they develop by the end of the year. Again, the schedule's not doing them any favors early. I think that as the year goes on and they gel, there's going to be much more opportunities to make up for some of those games they lost. And then let's assess next year going into next year at where they're at.
I know I
I'm
Charles
on
earlier.
that.
Mike, you got one now coming your way.
See, now, my whole
what up, TTP? Sorry.
No, I just had him too. My whole thing is a good coach will win you an extra 5 to 7 games on his own. A great coach, maybe 10 plus. A bad coach is going to lose you that same 5 to 7 games going the other way. What smart basketball fan realistically thinks that Brett was going to steal any one of the 4 games that they've lost so far this year?
No, absolutely not.
So let's just be realistic about the expectations. I mean, a real, true, smart, objective basketball fan, objective Sixers fan, should be looking at this as we're going to learn from October and November, and then we're going to go dominate December, January, February, and March. And if they don't, then yeah, at the end of the year, you take a look at Brett and you say, okay, what didn't he do well? What could he do better? What did he do really well, and what do we like about him? And you give him things to work on for next year. But he's got to be this coach at least through next year.
TT Ballin coming in. Well, we'll go Pootie Tank first. Yeah, Brown deserves time, but Gerald Bayless cannot be on the floor for the final possession. Oh, I completely agree with that.
Well, there's no argument there.
Especially with the ball in his hand. Agreed. TT Ballin.
But if I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah, no,
but
go ahead.
if, but
Yeah,
if
of course.
Fultz is out, who is that guy? It's either Bayless or McConnell.
Yeah.
Realistically, because I don't remember who else was on the floor. But those are your only 2 ball handlers outside of Simmons. So one of them has to be in the game. I agree with you. I don't want him on the floor. But if Fultz is going to be out.
Comes back to town in a way. TT, young team, not worried about it. I agree, TTP. That's why his name's TTP Ballin.
Yes.
Trust the process. Ballin. My issue is, why didn't Embiid touch the ball in the last 6 possessions? Well, that's why I put it on a young team. Because a coach in a huddle can go, hey, let's run this play, let's run this play, and guys go their own way sometimes. So it's hard to –
Or the defense takes it away. Because that's what they're there for.
Right.
Yeah, two teams play.
Right.
2 coaches coach. Now, listen, again, I'm not crowning Brett Brown, and I want to be clear about that, and I'm not being a homer when it comes to Brett Brown or being an apologist. But it's just only fair, man. I mean, nobody could have coached and dealt with and not won it out over the last 3 years more than Brett Brown.
No, and he took it like a man. He stood there night in and night out, answered every question, every criticism.
You love talking trees on the Eagles side.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a better tree in the NFL than to come off of a Popovich tree?
Oh, no.
I mean, again, I think he's a very good coach.
Me too.
And he, at minimum, gets this year just to say thank you. Now, is he the end going to be all coach? I think he is, but that's a different story for a future discussion. But he gets this year, no doubt.
Oh, I think he is.
I don't
too,
even
Greg.
think. I'm not even worried about Brett, because to your point, I could draw up a play, an out of bounds play, and then the defense just takes it away. And then what do you have? A young kid, a Ben Simmons, a 19-year-old, all of a sudden has to make a decision, which you trust his decision. That's why he has the ball in his hands.
Still a baby,
but he's 19 years old.
Right,
He's a baby.
But to your point,
They all are.
if I'm coaching Houston and I'm going through those last 6 possessions, I'm putting Harden on Reddick, and then I'm going to front JoJo with Ryan Anderson, and I'm going to have Clint Capella on his back. And I'm going to say, you know what? Any other Sixer on the floor wants to go ahead and beat me, that's fine, but I'm not letting Embiid or Reddick beat me. And then what happens?
You lose a game by 1 point.
You lose a game by 1 point. Now, as these guys start to develop chemistry with each other and their own games, then maybe Ben wins that game, or Covington wins that game, or Bayless wins that game, or Fultz wins that game, without having to rely so much on JoJo and the veteran.
And some of this can be said, some of the not struggle, but not closing out. And you can look at Dario, for instance, and I know a lot of people in groups are upset with him. He can't play. You know how this is going, right? Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden he can't play. I said, dude, he's played too much basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, he was overseas playing. He flew back the night before training camp. I mean, really. I mean, that's a guy who just played too much, in my opinion, at a young age, and just needs to, know your body, slow it down. He looks like the guy who's a little fatigued to me.
He does.
And he didn't forget how to play basketball.
He looks like he did when he started the year last year. Fresh legs from overseas, was still trying to get his the NBA legs, and he looked tired. He looked deflated. He looked like his jump shot was flat. You're exactly right. It's exactly the way he looks now. Get him a little rest, buy him some minutes here and there.
And he got going.
Then he got
was
going,
your best player.
and he was the rookie of the year.
Yeah, and he was the best player on your team the end last season with no Embiid. He was the guy to go to. Yeah. Ryan Patrick, 3-2 Dodgers, still have the lead, still with 1 out in the top of the 8th. He also said Puig throws his glove down as if he's in Little League in frustration after diving for a ball and missing the play. That's Puig, man. You get to take the good and bad with him, but they go as Puig goes, and that's facts. And I know I'm more of a Puig guy than other guys. I liked him from day one. The energy he brought to the ballpark translates and goes to – I'm freaking getting tired, but goes through the entire organization, right? I mean, I think we can all agree on that. Does he do some things that you're like, come on, dude. What are you doing? You're throwing your glove to Ryan's point. He's right.
A Herrera guy.
He's right. I'm a Herrera guy. I'm guys who hit and play. One thing you can't take away, Adubel Herrera flat out rakes. Yeah. You can say all the rest you want. He rakes.
Pootie Tang says Ben wins that game if he had a jumper. Don't disagree. It's coming.
Yeah.
TTP Ballin says last year we had the same issue closing out games, got progressively better. And I would expect the same thing this year.
And I think it's a different team, too. You got different guys leading the team this year. And to the point that you made earlier with Ben when he's driving, when to kick out, when to lay up, when to pull up for the jumper, as he plays more with these guys and he gets more comfortable with where Covington's going to be on the floor, where JJ's going to be on the floor, if Embiid or Dario or anybody, where they're at on the floor, he's going to know what his opportunities are when the defense is collapsing on him in the lane to where he can get the best scoring opportunity for the team.
And I also think that there's going to be a much different dynamic to their second team when Rashawn Holmes comes back. Because is he a world beater? No, he's not. But as a second team center, he can put the ball in the hole.
That dude is a worker. He reminds me of the of back when we were successful, when you had guys like Tyrone Hill. Not the sexiest name, but they were hard workers down low.
Right. And he's got a little bit of an offensive game.
He does.
I mean, I still feel like for whatever, I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I do feel like they got to try to get Josh some minutes. I think because there's one thing he can do is score the basketball.
That is the one caveat this year that I've yet to crack.
Why he's not even getting a run. Yeah.
Why he's DMP coach's decision every night.
If you're going to have him, you might as well play.
I mean,
I hate Sixers groups. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did I miss something? Have they talked?
Give me some of that because I feel the same way.
Fucking dopes. You're fucking dopes. Stop comparing Ben Simmons to Mike Carter-Williams because I drop a fucking stat line in there. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not comparing him to Michael Jordan or anybody else. I just said wow because it's a wow fucking number. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I really got a goddamn opinion. I get it, but you're a fucking dope. If you even compare Ben Simmons to Mike Carter-Williams, ever stop watching baseball. Don't even go to the local park. Don't even go. I don't even want you down to the local park. You're done watching basketball. Shit.
Cut the cable.
Boot them motherfuckers, Joey. That's who you should be booting out of these groups. They're freaking dopes.
I love it.
Damn it. Oh, sorry, my head hurts. You can't put anything in these groups without everybody's a GM, everybody's a basketball expert. Get a goddamn clue. And I ain't apologetic about the language because late night, it gets aggressive. You want to come sit down? Come sit down. I'll go right up in your grill.
It's after 11. We're good.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, the kiddies are asleep now.
Wow. All I put was the Sixers 247. I'll give the group love because I like Joey a lot, and he grew a group into 23,000 members, unlike some of these jabrones who have groups of 800 and want to crown themselves and come talking shit to me. This is the guy who's really put the work in to grow a group out and does a lot of things for the group. I give the guy a ton of love for it. No doubt about it. All I put was wow and the stat. Wow and the stat. I didn't say, hey, look at MJ. Oh, you see Mike? Come on, brah. I didn't do none of that. And then guys want to comment. I got to read something because it's just going to amaze you.
Go ahead.
And I think it's funny. Tyrone Montgomery, while we want to see some wins, that's something to be happy about. Agreed, Tyrone. Spot on. Nicholas Ivanov. Combined point, rebound, and assists through first 5 NBA games from Mike Carter-Williams equal 162. Let's chill out for a bit. Oh, we're all chill, Daddy. We're chill. I'm going to hit him when I'm chill, too. I'm chill. Okay? Not to be that guy, but I don't want to see stats with deeper meaning like we saw with Embiid last season. Because despite MCW putting up big offensive numbers, he was one of the worst point guards. Dude, stop comparing him to MCW. Okay? You're stop. It's amazing. They're dopes. Flat out dopes.
MCW was a good point guard on a shitty team.
Correct.
He couldn't hold Ben's jockstrap.
No.
Jesus, I'll come firing. Come firing. I have no problem with posts like this, Aaron Chandler, like this, simply because we have nothing else to compare Ben when it comes to guys like Bron, MJ, Kid, etc. Let's just enjoy what he's doing and root for him to continue to get better and better. And I'm gonna love that one. That's a love. Hey, Tom, love it.
I love being a Philadelphia sports fan, but it drives me nuts because it's okay. We've known that this was going to be a development, but now we want the instantaneous success. You should be the best team in the Eastern Conference, like right off the bat. It's that crazy mentality to me.
Agreed, but this whole post, it's not to say that Ben Simmons is the next coming.
Yeah.
And I understand that Michael Carter-Williams' numbers were comparable. The whole premise of the post is just to kind of put it out there like, hey, kid's doing something special in his first 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Let's pay attention to him.
Nobody's crowning him, but nobody's calling him the next Michael Carter-Williams either.
Like I said, I'm not. I put it in. I'm not comparing. Just dropping it in for the people. I thought we were Sixers fans.
I
thought we
called
want
him the
something
GOAT.
to be positive
Absolutely.
I called him the GOAT. He is better than Michael Jordan right now.
Greg's taking the heat.
Listen, do I think in 3 years he could be one of the best players in the NBA? No question.
Oh, absolutely.
No question, but I don't think anybody's going to do that now. But what you see is a skill set. You don't go by what your eyes tell you. And what your eyes tell you is this kid's a freaking problem. Okay?
It's what
and that's facts.
It's what they said coming out when he was getting drafted. He is a version of a KD, of a LeBron, with his body size, with his physical size and his talent level. He's a version of those.
I got you over here.
Well, go ahead. Please.
David Roscoe says, Tom, calm down.
No, well, what? What? I mean, when dopes come out of the woodwork and say stupid shit or assume, which everybody does in these groups all the time, and once they compare them to a Mike Carter-Williams or stat lines compared to Mike, stop. Pump it. What do you see? When you watch Mike Carter-Williams, you're like, I don't know. Like, you hope, you prayed, you wanted him to be somebody, but he was also, the 10th pick?
Yeah.
Of the draft?
Yeah.
It's the number one guy.
Well, here you go. So TTP Ballin says, I love the way this team moves the ball. At times we can see flashes of the Spurs. I don't like comparing Simmons to anyone, though. He's not Braun, not Rondo, not Magic. Just let him be his own player.
I completely agree.
And then K. Young, I feel like Simmons' ball watch is too effing much.
And Kay, I'm not saying you're wrong, brother, because I think that's just a young thing to learn how to move without the ball. A guy who wants the ball in his hands, has the ball in his hands a lot. Now the growth comes. Hey, how do you handle it without the ball in your hands? Right. And I think for a guy like him, he's going to learn to get up and post up more
because he's got one of the best in the game on his team.
And TTB Ballin.
Redick.
Yeah, TTB Ballin says, damn sure not MCW.
No, not even close. And guess what? When we read out the stat, we're not comparing them to any of these guys. Nobody on this panel right now is comparing him to them. We're just saying, wow, that's crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Like, just to be in a conversation numbers-wise with them three guys, that's ridiculous. There ain't a name on that list. You're like, yeah, he stinks. No, everyone's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't know. Kid didn't get in yet, right? I don't think.
No, but
he is.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah,
he
is.
Point.
And who was the other on the list? It was LeBron and MJ, right?
It was LeBron, MJ, and Jason Kidd.
Yeah. Well, guess what? We're not comparing any three of them because they all have different skills in different ways. What we're saying is that's crazy numbers. You're in Hall of Fame talk in terms of your numbers this early on in your career.
That's special.
If you can continue to grow, continue to learn to move without the basketball, continue to learn how to be even a better distributor than you are, which is hard to do right now.
Right.
But he's going to even get better and better and better.
To that point,
David, I'm calm now, brother.
Starts moving without the basketball. That's going to free up driving lanes for him. That's going to free up so much more for not only him and himself, but also the teammates too. It's like we talked about with Rocco. How Rocco doesn't need a play called for him. He just can move without the ball, find an open spot, wait for the pass, and go up and go.
All right, I gotta rip here. So, Mikey the Greek, posted in the Sixers group screenshots of an Ike Reese post where Ike says, no one else is going to say it, so I will. This is where the number 1 overall pick, who's a natural scorer, in parentheses, not healthy, might win a game. All because Simmons can't pull up at 6'11" for a 15-foot jump shot. So Mikey the Greek says, I agree with him. Listen, Ben is a stud, and he's going to be amazing once he polishes his game, but until then he's going to be criticized like LeBron did early in his career. You're a natural scorer. No, he's not a natural scorer. He is a natural all-around player. He creates with the ball in his hands. No one has ever said that Ben Simmons is a natural scorer. He's an all-around player. He says he's a natural scorer. He needs to take a shot at the end, whether it be a 15-footer or whether he drove to the hoop and stopped, turned, and passed it back out towards the three-point line. He needs to learn to take initiative, take control, and be the star that he wants to be. 5 games into his NBA career.
Oh, Jesus.
Again, we're going back.
5 fucking games into his NBA career.
A 19-year-old.
And to Mike, and to what Mike wrote in there, Mike's been on this for a minute, so it's not something new for him.
And Mike normally knows his stuff, so I'm sure there's some emotion to this.
Yeah, there's tons of emotion in it, and he's speaking as a fan and a guy who just lost a basketball game. But he's been, not loving Ben like he thought he would, or thought he's not the guy he thought he was. And it's early on, and he even came in the other night after the big game against Detroit and goes, it's almost time for me to eat crow now. Guy had a monster game. And I said, dude, it takes a man to come back in and say, hey, maybe I missed something on this guy. But understand the growing pains of a 19-year-old kid. You're going to take the good with the bad at times. I think it's all going to grow. He's special, man. Yeah. And when he gets more confidence, he's going to take that shot. So to Mike's point, no, he's not a score-first guy. There's a reason you want him running your point in your starting 5 because he's a distribute-first guy. That's who he is. And him distributing and his ball handling skills and his size allow him to get easy buckets at the rim right now. And the finish and all that will come. The confidence from 15 feet out. The ability to stretch a defense and start being able to shoot a 3 or 2, right? To be able and maybe hit one and draw guys out. That's all going to come. But at 19, they expect the whole package when the guy's got 99% of the package right now. It isn't fair. It's just not completely fair in my opinion.
If I have one criticism of Ben, and it may only be one at this point in the season in his career, is that I understand that he's running point, but at 6'10", you have to be more of a presence on the defensive boards. If you look at the way that this season has sort of unfolded so far, You had Marcin Gortat pull down 17 boards. Andre Drummond pulled down 14 boards. Clint Capella got 20 boards tonight.
Clint got 20 boards.
Somebody
wants a lot of money.
JoJo can't board by himself.
No.
So if you're going to be starting Rocco at the 4, then Ben's got to have to hit the defensive boards.
I know people love Rocco. I understand it. And like you said, his
I like him, don't
his
love
shot's
him.
gotten better and all that. But the guy's never found a 3 he doesn't like. I mean, just never found a shot he doesn't like.
Well, that's a shooter's mentality.
And it is, and I like that. And I wanted to be
Listen, when
I was the same way. I never met a shot I didn't like either.
Listen, when I played, I was a 3-point shooter, and it was the same thing. If they were popping the ball out, 9 times out of 10, I was probably taking that shot.
And that's fair.
Just one of those mentalities that you have. If you have the stroke and it's going, you go.
I love the way his face lit up, though. He's like, yo, if that ball came to me,
oh, absolutely,
it was coming up.
Buckets. No, I mean that's fair. I'm just not in love with the way a lot of fans are with him, and the organization is with him. Like to me, him start in your starting lineup has never made sense to me. That's Dario's job. You can like it, dislike it. People can think whatever they want about it. That is Dario's job. Stop. That guy was the best guy on the basketball court last year.
I'm not debating
No,
that.
I know you're not. I'm just telling people to stop because everybody,
But I understand why
Dario's
he's
your
in the
6.
starting lineup.
Dario comes off your bench. No, he doesn't. Dario D's up too. So to say that like, oh, well, you lose, you really drop a step defensively with Dario at your 4 is crazy talk to me. That's crazy talk. He's one of your best players. He's one of your biggest assets. Should have been the rookie of the year last year. That guy starts in your goddamn lineup. So you want to rip Brett Brown about something? There you go. There's a shot at Brett. Because Dario needs to start for me. That's facts, man. There's no arguing that. There's no other side to that. Dario is a starter.
Now, see, now it's funny because I initially argued that and said I want him as the anchor of the second group. But the way that this rotation is running, I completely agree with you. Like, because Brett's not running a second group out there. He's rolling guys through so quickly that you need that presence right from the jump. He needs to start at the 4.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to keep, running Bayless at the 2 and JJ at the 3, I'm fine with that. You got to bring Covington off the bench then. He's got to be your instant offense guy coming off behind Reddick at 3. And Dario's got to start at the 4 and then just have Amir Johnson playing behind him.
That's right, because you're getting the buckets off the bench and you're looking for him like in spots. Okay, like he's hot. Then you go to the hand a little longer. You know what I mean? So I just look at like Dario being one of my top 4 players on this basketball team, and a guy who can do it all. I mean, he's not a me-first guy. He can flat out dish it. He can D it up. He rebounds. He's aggressive. How does that not start? How does that?
But we just talked about a couple minutes
No, I know
ago
he's tired.
how he's tired, and we got to take him. We got to take a step back.
But it doesn't mean he shouldn't start, though.
No, but
Greg, one hand and the other one watch the other.
But
Whatever the
Rocco,
fuck you want to say?
I don't think you should start. I'll tell you right now.
Why?
There you go.
Why? Give me a good. Why doesn't Dario
Because
start?
I think his game translates better coming off the bench.
That's showing.
Coming next.
That's showing.
Because he's tired.
Oh, now okay. Well, now we'll change the narrative back to tired. But you think maybe it is that the guy's a starter? I mean, some guys are starters, man. Some guys do better in a starting role.
Okay.
You love the guy, and you think he translates better on the bench?
I love Rocco?
No, you like Dario.
I do love Dario.
So, but you think he translates better off the bench?
Yes, I do.
Lock in. Lock the hell in.
I am
would
locked
you?
in.
Please. I mean, it's too late for you to not be locked in.
There's guys that you sit on the bench and get them against as somebody less defensive minded on the second unit as the 6th man coming off the bench. There's guys that can go in. You want an instant offense? That's Dario. Rocco's not an instant offense type of guy.
Greg, I got to interrupt you for a second. We got breaking news out of L.A. After a Carlos Correa single in the top of the 8th, plates Alex Bregman to put the Astros within 1. Marwin Gonzalez takes Kenley Jansen deep to tie the game in the top of the 9th.
Beautiful.
Wow, nobody.
Threes.
I mean, Sweeps was talking on Sunday, and then Robbie was here, and he was talking about that. This dude's Mariano right now. I mean, this dude's cutter is that ridiculous.
Yeah.
All his pitches are that good. And this guy, nobody hits him. And to get one off of him in a game that this is going to change. If Houston comes back and wins this game, this whole series
That's a whole
switches.
momentum.
This
That's a
whole
momentum
shit.
changer right there.
I bet you know what? I bet he's getting like the whole Mitch Williams syndrome. He's tired.
He could be. He could be tired.
I bet he's tired, and the cutter's staying up. And when the cutter's up, It's Rip City, baby.
You know, I want to see
what I
now.
love is like that's an ex-catcher. That's a converted catcher.
It's insane to think about that.
Actually,
36 minutes for Rocco tonight. Okay?
Okay.
Dario, just minutes-wise, 17.
Well, I'll agree with you that it's an issue. But maybe that for this particular game, maybe it was fatigue.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, hey, concerted effort. Hey, we're gonna put a minute restriction on him without calling it a minute restriction and just kind of rest him a little bit. I agree that I think he should play more minutes than Rocco. I just think for that starting lineup, Rocco, I don't want to say fits better, but I think he fills a role better. And allow Dario to come in off of somebody else off the bench that isn't so defensive minded.
What do you say though in spots and in games it can change though?
Sure.
I mean, you agree with me there though. Like,
yeah.
Okay, maybe Ryan Anderson was a better matchup for Rocco, right? As a stretch four, a guy who stretches out defensively, I'm good there. Right, I'm good. And if we want to talk about tired and 17 minutes playing a
that's
part
what that says.
Yeah, that's
what that
fine.
says.
And that's fine, and that's fair, and I'm okay there. You know, early on, the first three games, I would say, I'm like, how's this guy not playing 30 minutes a night? What the hell am I missing? And I felt like I could check his legs and be like, he looks a little tired.
He looks slow.
A little sluggish right now.
Yeah.
So, but that's my issue. Like, when all things are equal, 10 minutes should never be 36 for Rocco. Granted, he was a +9 tonight, and you look at that. And,
well, I mean, if he's
JJ was a +23 on the court tonight. I mean, they're numbers that I really look at. You know, Embiid a -1. But again, only in 25 minutes.
Sure.
I mean, when Embiid's playing 36, we're winning these basketball games. And I think that's the difference, too. We have to look at that. I mean, the guy in 25 minutes scored 21 points.
Right.
Filth.
Yeah.
8 for 12.
No, and I do think, too, with that, with the minutes restrictions, that's part of the reason why you're seeing so much of a rotation of guys in and out. Once that kind of settles down and JoJo starts playing more, 35, 36 minutes a night, that's when I agree with Greg that Dario's the guy I want anchoring that second team. Now, I can understand the argument now because it's so fluid that it really doesn't matter who your sixth man at this point is. But if we were having that consistency, I would have more confidence knowing that I have a guy like Dario who can keep that point in the game and put points on the board than, say, Covington's the sixth man coming off.
And it's interesting because now you two both on the YouTube chat have counterpoints. TTP Ballin says the only issue with that is Rocco is the only guy who can lock up the best player on the other team. As a result, I feel he needs to start. And then Pootie Tang chimes in, says, should the Sixers pursue Eric Bledsoe? Interesting, because I was asked that same question at the Eagles tailgate on Monday night, so I threw it in a Sixers group. I said straight out, question posed to me at the Eagles tailgate. Should the Sixers pursue Eric Bledsoe? I got freaking lynched in that group as if it was my own question.
Of course.
And nobody wants Eric Bledsoe.
Why? Is it the mentality? Is it the player, or is it the game? Like, is it a Martavius Bryant type of situation? Or is it a guy that can flat out score the basketball?
No, I heard it was a little Martavius Bryant.
Yeah.
A lot of other people complain that he makes way too much money for his production.
I don't give a rat's ass about money. We all know that.
And then,
I don't pay the bill.
Some other people were saying, well, why don't
my credit card bill?
Well, if we're going to approach the Suns about anybody, why don't we ask about Devin Booker? Because they're not giving up Devin Booker.
I remember my first time playing NBA 2K.
Yeah. Like when the whole Eric Bledsoe thing came out, I sat there and I thought really hard for a second. Would he would absolutely fit.
Oh, no question.
He would allow Ben to play off the ball a little bit because he likes the ball in his hands a little bit too. But he can absolutely step in for Jared Bayless right now and anchor and help anchor that first team. That's a legitimate NBA point guard and a legitimate scoring threat on the team.
And 28 years old.
And you're right, 28.
And you could probably steal him right now.
Absolutely.
You probably steal him. You're absolutely
You could
right.
probably package John and a pick and get that deal done.
And some sort of protected pick.
Yeah.
Because that's how fluid they want out. Now, the Martavis thing, I understand the step back and is he, the cancer in the locker room. But again, he's playing in Phoenix. How good are they?
Right.
Yeah, well, they've gone through coaches like we talk about way too much.
And that hurts a locker room.
And I think when he sees Earl Watson get canned, he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. This is what's happening again.
No. He was in the
I know
the hairdresser with his girl.
He didn't want to be. He didn't want to be there no more. I mean, the GM's comments were like, "We don't believe that. We don't believe that to be true. No shit. You know."
But talk about a GM not pulling any punches. Not even like we'll sit down and we'll talk about that and we'll get to the bottom of it. It was just like, no, we don't believe that to be true.
We don't believe that one to be true.
Real quick, I want to go back to a point Greg was making real quick before I lose sight of it. You were talking about Kenley Jansen, former catcher. 5 years in the minor leagues as a catcher. Converts to pitcher and makes it to the majors in a year and a half.
Insane.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Insane.
And you look at him now.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best stories ever. No question.
It's one of those things where like the video you posted a couple of days ago or maybe a week ago, with you Darvish throwing left-handed and throwing slide pieces. Like there's the talent that is coming out of some of these guys. Like, can I have a piece of that, please?
Well, listen, I mean, it's a small window to look at, but I'm a Cardinals fan, baseball. Look at a guy like Jason Mott, same thing, catcher in the minor leagues. Now, until he had that major injury where he was out, he had a real good 2 or 3 year stretch where he was throwing heat and one of the best closers in the National League at that point. And that won them a World Series.
No, agreed. Springer doubled. He was on second with 2 outs. Ryan Patrick saying, then he said inning over. David Roscoe said, good thing he's calmed down. I asked him, who, me? I said, I get heated when needed. I can be calm and relax and have a conversation, but then when there's nerves, things that you can poke me with. There's some things that you pluck the nerve, and I'm going to get heated. And Dario, 17 minutes earlier on in the year, I'm going to get heated over. Brian Colangelo being a rat-faced bastard and continuing to lie, I'm going to get heated over. Not trusting a New Jersey Devils owner down here who done nothing but crumble that franchise, and so to speak, right? He can be done. I got no time to trust that guy either. And then when it all circles around and all comes back to lies, or just not being honest, or just not coming out and telling us what's going on, it's going to create me to dislike you and not trust you. And but your whole slogan, trust the process, which you well started, but I can't trust A, B, and C up top. Who the hell can I trust then?
Hinky.
Well, if you're like me, this will make you feel better. Thank you, Charles. By the way, John Wall crapped on Lonzo Ball early in their game.
I love it, man. I love it.
You know what's great about
Daddy
that, though?
It's amazing.
The fact that Marcin Gortat last night tweeted that's exactly what was going to happen. He said John Wall's going to dominate you for 48 minutes.
I love it. And LeVar's going to still talk, dude. I mean, at some point, Lonzo, you're a grown-ass man now. Tell Daddy to shut the hell up. Because all he's doing is getting your ass whooped, and when you're a 19-year-old kid. Yep. That's it. And listen, I think Lonzo, one thing that I believe would translate right away, and I think we all did, nobody's stupid, is division.
Yeah.
Division. Nobody's going to
absolutely.
question that. But now, you're still thin, man. You ain't as big as you're going to be when you're 22, 23. Yep. And now grown men are getting up in you. And it started with Patrick Beverly when he's trying to tuck his shirt into his pants, bumping them and getting up in them. And it's like, did Patrick Beverly have fun with it? Yeah, I think he had a lot of fun with it. But this is what you're going to get. You're going to get guys best shot at Daddy in his
Patrick
talk.
Beverly, though.
Yeah.
And that's
his job.
That is his
but
job.
my point is,
And
that's
he does
not
it
even,
well.
that's not even the best you're going to see.
Well, no, you're absolutely
That's
right.
just the start. That's just the ingredients for the cake right there.
No doubt.
And you're going to get some icing later because now you're going to see some big dogs, and you saw one tonight.
Because on the night you're going to get Patrick Beverly D'ing you up. Another night you're getting John Wall dropping 40 on you or whatever it is.
Hey, real quick, I know we got to get out of here, but
the snake oil salesman, Fruity Texas, and it needs to be about Eric Bledsoe. Then you can be more flexible with guys like Rocco and Dario.
Yeah. I know we got to get out of here, but real quick before we do, shout out to our buddy Mike Castiglione from Pro Football Focus. We had him on for our Eagles preview show right before the season. Mike and his wife Katie, Friday morning, nice healthy 7-pound 6-ounce 21-inch baby girl Amelia. Mom and baby are doing well.
Congrats, Mike.
Congrats, Mike.
Congratulations.
Dad wants to go back to drinking beer now that he doesn't have to be on on Baby Alert. And back doing his thing at Pro Football Focus. So,
my man, good for him.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Congrats.
Awesome.
So we'd like to thank Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant, our show sponsor every Wednesday night. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Soapstash LLC, the new soap standard. We're on the web, soapstash.com. Joel Embiid reassures Sixers fans about his health. Everybody got to stop being scared. I'm not made of glass. Grown men talk. Grown up talk. For Tom Manone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovich, Mike Chromiak. I got it, right?
You got it, brother.
Rob Hogan on the ones and twos.
No, you just messed up his.
Rob, Greg Mwakovich.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Charles Moranin.
Moranin.
I just want to make sure I get it all right. I'm so in a comfort zone here.
They call him like Choo Choo.
I'm a comfort. Choo Choo, the train. Listen, great insight out of both you boys. Be seeing you guys soon on A2D.
Stuff.
Listen, Rob Povia, thank you. All the comments, you help make the show. You drive it. For the best in the business is, and no notes around this table, we out.
Peace.